Welcome into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. Another Tuesday, which means it's another evening of Champions League football. And we had it all last week just here. Barcelona made it 4 against Dortmund. Inter beat Bayern Munich at home. PSG pushed Villa to the 90th minute. And because it was so nice, he did it twice. Real Madrid lost to Arsenal, thanks to Declan Rice. I'm Sara, your host, and we're here for the second leg of the quarterfinals, joined by the one, the only, Mr. KlintonCod.
Yes. Today is a beautiful day the Lord has made. Now the question is, are we going to see Barcelona cry? We'll find out in about a couple of hours' time. But, God, I just remembered Real Madrid. Anytime I remember
Tomorrow.
I feel like, there's that skip, there's that, palpitation that happens to me in my heart. But before we go into the games, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Alex Ashmore. We have somebody not very close to his height, but at least she's getting there. It's Shantelle. Shantelle, I mean, you're trying though. Boko, you will get there.
It's going to take a good while to get there, but thanks for having me.
Are you still growing?
No, I think I've stopped going since maybe 16. And sometimes I don't.
Oh, so the usual women fraudulent, like life actions.
Oh my
No, but for
gosh.
me, let's be sincere though. I feel like there's a lot that women do that. In all honesty, if we went to actually go into real duties, it's fraudulent.
I mean, the same with beards for men.
What do you mean beard?
Beard is like makeup for men.
No,
come
but
on.
what is
and
fraud
the
here?
hairstyle,
No,
like
what do you mean?
a fade different from when you have the afro. Come on, you guys have the same thing.
No, but these are all natural though. You're adding to your height. You're having to paint and you're having to can you guys just be right? Okay, let's not go into women.
We got a long time here at the desk, guys. Let's try to get through the show here. Let's try our very best. Yes, we have Barcelona at Signal Iduna taking on Dortmund. Can they come back from a 4-0 deficit? We'll find out this evening, as well as PSG headed to Villa Park, where Aston Villa will try their best to beat PSG after losing 3-1 at the Parc des Princes. So join us here for our watch-along as per usual. Alex Ashmore will be joining us in just a little bit as well. But we also have Lucrezia joining the show, who's taking care of social media today. Hi, Lucrezia.
Hi, Sarah. Yes, I'm back here in the social media corner. So everyone watching, please send your comments. I'll pick the best ones. Comments about the game, comments about the players, wherever you want. And I'll be reading the best ones.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, make sure you comment within the next hour.
Yeah.
Let us know what your predictions are for these two matches and who you think is going to go through to the semifinals. Really quickly, coming up this week on Sporty TV, lots and lots of football action. We have the Chinese Super League with 3 versus Beijing, as well as Chengdu versus Yunnan Yukon. In the Saudi Pro League, it's Al Fateh versus Al Ittihad. Adelaide United versus Wellington in the A-League, as well as Derby County taking on Clinton's very own Luton Town. We have Watford versus Burnley, Al Qasiyah versus Al Nasser and Cristiano Ronaldo, Gimnasia versus River over in Argentina, and of course, for all of you PFL fans, we do have the Professional Fighters League on the 19th here. Western Sydney taking on Melbourne, Beijing versus Shandong, and in the Premier League this weekend, it's Everton taking on Manchester City. In the Bundesliga, we see Stuttgart headed to Berlin, taking on Union Berlin. Boca versus Estudiantes, Kobis versus Makita, Urawa versus Yokohama, Anderlecht versus Antwerp, and we'll wrap it all up in the Serie A with the tasty AC Milan at the San Siro, welcoming Atamela Lookman and Atalanta. So stay tuned at Sporty TV because we have all the football coming your way. But guys, it's Champions League night again. Another very exciting evening ahead of us, Clinton.
Absolutely.
You're hoping to see Barcelona suffer?
Now, to be honest, right, I think it would be, very rude of me and very wicked of me to see a team that's been working really hard, wishing them some kind of evil. But yeah, no. I know
that was big of you. I appreciate that.
But I think we've got to give them credit. People who are working hard to get into where they are today. It can only make sense that, you kind of give them the credit that they do deserve. In all honesty, I felt like Real Madrid went to, play in Arsenal and they were very annoying and they got the result that they deserve. So
Clinton,
tomorrow,
not to cut you, but where was this energy when Liverpool was facing PSG? Where was this good spirit?
She said, I have the receipts.
Yeah, like
the reason why I went on Liverpool was because
Where was this energy?
all of you Liverpool fans felt like you guys were all and all. Like you guys
They
were
were
acting,
working
oh, because
hard,
we're not winning it, we are the ones winning
unbeaten.
Premier League, blah blah blah. Bro, show it in the Champions League. Show us what you can do.
My
Show it
God.
in the Champions League now.
But they
Where are you
were.
today?
And
Where are they today?
Where was this support?
Which support do you want?
I
You
wanted
guys-
you to support Liverpool. It was like,
No,
let's
but-
go PSG, let's go. So where was this energy?
but-
where was this
no,
love?
no, that's-
Wow, Clinton. Wow.
No, I mean maybe after that time I hadn't fallen in love. No, I've not still fallen in love anyways. But you know, I just
Something
think that,
changed.
No, nothing
Because
changed.
this isn't the same Clinton that I saw when Liverpool went up against PSG.
Yes, because I feel like Liverpool, they've made the Premier League not really enticing to watch anymore. That's
And that's
exactly
not
why I
their
don't like
fault. That's-
No!
that's not
What?
their fault.
No, it's not their fault,
Everybody
of
else
course.
should have tried harder.
Yes, no, I agree. But in all honesty, I still feel like, yes, I just don't want... I was happy to see, you know, Liverpool dropping out. And that dropping out was almost like God humbling them. You know, because they were feeling like, oh, yeah, we have the Premier League, we're going to win champ. The fact that everybody actually thought Liverpool were going... They were the top shot to win.
So
You know-
Barcelona doesn't deserve humbling.
It was since Liverpool
they're
left.
on a run.
No, hold on. No, but Barcelona, you could clearly see that they are putting in the work though.
And Liverpool wasn't.
What work are they putting in?
Okay.
What work are they putting in?
Okay.
What they did in the Champions League, is that work?
I mean, they were undefeated until they faced PSG.
Okay. And
then they got
did you
defeated.
see the PSG that they defeated though? Or that defeated them?
All I'm saying that I would have appreciated this energy and love.
Okay. We'll take time, or how do you say it? You take hands backhands in time. Like, how do you say this stuff?
You're
hand back in-
selective.
No,
you
how do
choose
say-
who you give your love to and who you drag.
There's a saying, you take hands back in time.
There's no saying.
Sarah, you speak English better than all of us here, man.
I
Jesus,
don't
Sarah.
know actually what you're trying to say.
Okay, wait.
Let us know in the comments if you know what Clinton's trying to
No,
say.
everybody knows.
I don't know.
No, but it's a general saying though. Like when you say take hands back
Oh.
in time, take hands.
I actually didn't know it. Take back the hands of time.
Oh yeah, take back the hands of time.
Oh my God, actually, okay, yeah, okay, take back the hands of time. Well, it's going to be a long one here. Let's start with Dortmund and Barca, though, shall we? Because there have been several changes made to Borussia Dortmund and Niko Kovac's side. 5 changes, in fact, from last week's lineup. Let's start with Kobel in between the sticks, Sule, Anton, and Ben Sibani for a back 3 with Jan Quoto, Gross, Mecha, and Svensson getting into the lineup. Up front, Adeyemi, Guirassy, no changes there, but Bayer is going to be getting the start in this one. And for Barcelona, 2 big changes here. Szczesny, Gerard Martin coming in for Alejandro Balde, Araujo, Cubarsí, and Koundé, Frankie de Jong, Fermin Lopez, and Gavi getting the start over Pedri. And up front, your front 3, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal. Clinton, Shantelle, 5 changes made to this Dortmund side from last week's starting lineup. Do you think that is this going to mentally affect some of the players thinking that, okay, we're going to make 5 changes, or is it just the fact that Dortmund are desperate, they're at home, and they need the win?
No, of course. I feel like, you know, at this point, when you look at the goal differences, if you notice something, nobody's even speaking about Dortmund coming back. If you notice, all the comeback everyone has just been mentioning is just the coming back from Real Madrid for tomorrow. And that's even in tomorrow's game. If I tell you, Sarah, no disrespect to Barcelona, this game, people pretty much think is done. Right?
Love for it to be done.
And that's the reason why you could literally see the selection that's been made. Because whether we like it or not, this Dortmund will do nothing. There's no, even if right now, I don't want to use Jesus now because that would be me being extreme. But if you bring in 5 good pastors that are into sports to come and join that Dortmund team to make them 15 or 16 players against Barcelona, right? There's nothing that would happen. It's literally done. So I'm not surprised to see this selection and any kind of changes that's been made. I just feel like what they want to do now is just to manage their win. I don't think they are looking at scoring any. Of course, they do have their front, you know, giant 3 who would always do the job when the opportunity presents itself. But I think with Barcelona at this point, they score, they don't score, they will just need to defend what they have so far. And whatever the coach is doing, Hansi Flick, I trust him, man.
Well, let's welcome to the show from Sporty FM and Accra. It's Eustace. Welcome back.
Hey, hi, everybody.
A very happy
My
guy.
man Clinton is around.
He's still happy.
Yeah,
And he can still be happy for the time being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Use this. A lot of changes made for the Dortmund lineup here at Signal Iduna. And I know that we always speak about Signal Iduna being one of the fortresses in Europe, but Dortmund only have 3 home wins in their last 12 home matches. All the odds are against this side right now.
Yeah, definitely, and that's been the complexion of the season for Dortmund since Niko Kovac has come in, and he was known for his defensive prowess. So everybody thought he was going to bring that solidity to that Dortmund team. I mean, but defensively, they are still leaking goals. And the problem, I think, will go into the summer transfer window. They'll need some positive reinforcement in the squad. But you look at the kind of football they've played to get to this stage in the competition. And I mean, despite the changes, it's easy to tell that Dortmund are done. There's no way they are coming back. Clinton is right. I side with him on that. There's no way, absolutely no chance for them to come back in this one.
Shantelle, I mean, it's hard to break this one down, but the pressure isn't on Dortmund, right? They're down 4-0. Serhei Guirassy has been brilliant in the Champions League campaign, regardless of Dortmund's performance in the league or the Champions League. But does that give them some sort of glimmer of hope, knowing that, okay, no one expects us to win this game? Serhei Guirassy is going to want to try and put as many goals as he can in, because obviously if they get knocked out, he could still potentially go ahead of Rafinha. Let's say Rafinha doesn't score in the rest of his campaign. You know, like it could be something personal for him. But do you see that playing into Dortmund's favor?
Like, I'm looking at the lineup, and I want to say, firstly, I'm not surprised by anything that I'm seeing. The thing with Dortmund, I feel like they have struggled defensively all season, and having conceded more than 2 goals per game in the last 4 Champions League matches. And against Barcelona, we saw where they really, really, really struggled. Their defense was overwhelmed. And even with that brilliant forward that they have, yes, I see him maybe scoring and maybe just taking it personal and continue achieving the great things that he has done. Because like I know in the Champions League campaign, he has like, 10 goals. Within the league, he has like 15 out of 25
are you
performances.
talking about Guirassy?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing well. So I don't have great expectations for Dortmund to come back. I feel like it's basically done. But maybe we can see a performance from him, but I don't think that will be enough to save them, per se. So it's basically a done deal. And maybe the goalkeeper will have to go into overdrive and try not to concede any more goals. But I don't see that happening either. So we might see more goals from Barcelona tonight, but Dortmund is not looking pretty at all.
Clinton, we were talking about that top 3 of Barcelona last week and just the chemistry that they have, and that they're arguably the best front 3 right now in European football. But I have a little stat for you. I know last week Lewandowski is officially the only player to ever score 10 goals or more for 3 different clubs in the Champions League campaign. But Rafinha has now matched Messi's goal involvements in the Champions League for Barcelona in one season. It does look scary when you are facing the likes of Rafinha, Lewandowski, and of course the wonderful Lamine Yamal.
Of course, absolutely. I think any team facing the Barcelona right now, they will pretty much have to fast and pray at least for 3 days before getting into that game. Because clearly you can see that these are literally the best thrills. Like, the good thing about what's happening with Barcelona is if one of them is switched off, 2 of them they're pretty much highly switched on. You know, if there's one or 2 from somewhere that's switched off, there's one who's doing the job of another 3, and this one is literally shining and it's bringing what the team should be bringing. The one thing they would always do is they would always try to make sure they're having a win. We saw the game against them, Leganes, at the weekend, you know, all of us, and we pretty much saw that, yeah, they did struggle against little Leganes, knowing that they had gone to Leganes and Leganes did win them in their home. They came to that one again. In all honesty, we saw Barcelona still struggle. However, somehow, you know, whatever they did on the pitch still, it wasn't their goal. It was an own goal.
Yeah.
But at least they still left with 3 points. I think this is what good teams do, right? You may have struggled, but you've taken something out. And you've not just taken, or you've not just shared points at this point. You've not said, okay, these teams were very difficult. We were very difficult as well. Let's just take 1 each. These guys have gone there to say, you guys are difficult, but we're still taking 3, right? This is what a top team, having this kind of thrill, like, you know, a Rafinha, a Lewandowski, a Lamine Yamal. There are like 3 players from that team that can right now go head-to-head for the Ballon d'Or. Do you know how illegal it is to have or even say 2 from a team. We were discussing it like we thought Rafinha deserves it. Lamine Yamal deserves it, but we understand that his age, according to people, which does not make sense. There's no rule to suggest that with his age, he does not deserve to be mentioned when it comes to that Ballon d'Or conversation. But that front three, they are all scary. All of them are very good goal scorers. When you look at Rafinha, he will take his opportunities. When you look at Lewandowski, no, even with 2 eyes closed, my man is still scoring goals. You look at Lamine Yamal, my man is, if he's not giving you the best assist in the world, he's trying to take a shot that could either go in or he's hitting the woodwork. Like, there's just something about that. Then you won't now go into the midfield as well. My God. Like, I feel like when people hear me speak about good teams like this, you would think I'm a fan. But, you know, you've just got to give them credit. You're looking at this Dortmund side this evening. In all honesty, especially with their last performance, you know, from the last week's game, there is literally nothing. I see nothing. And the fact that no one is speaking about the game today, everyone seems to be focused on Real Madrid and their comeback, and nobody is saying, Dortmund could pull some kind of comeback for Barcelona tonight. Like, it's to tell you how much, you know, less confidence people have in this Dortmund. We know, in all honesty, if I was Dortmund players, I would beg my coach that, fam, let's save my energy for our league game. You know, let's see if we can come up the table. I think they're like 7th in their in the Bundesliga.
Bundesliga,
Or worse.
yeah.
I can't remember now. But sorry. Yeah, no, I feel bad for what they're about to face today, man.
8th in the Bundesliga. Eustace, obviously, they had that draw at the Allianz over the weekend against Bayern Munich, which they could potentially hold their heads up high in the sense that it's their biggest rival. You know, Der Klassiker, it could go either way. Bayern Munich, top of the Bundesliga table. But we also know that this is a depleted Bayern Munich side with the, you know, likes of Musiala missing and Alphonso Davies, Upamecano. But Bayern Munich also had one eye on their Champions League campaign, obviously having to play Inter, being a goal down in that one. So I don't know if that match over the weekend necessarily gave Dortmund the boost that they needed or a big enough boost heading into this match tonight against Barcelona.
Well, Sarah, I really don't think that game counted for much because we all know, like you're saying, Dortmund are out of the race for the Bundesliga. They are probably not going to get into those automatic Champions League spots and all season long. And that's why they had the change of manager when Nuri Sahin left. Niko Kovac came in and we expected a certain stability. Like I said, Girassi has been fantastic all season long, but you need that balance in the team. And Dortmund at this moment don't look like they have that balance. A 4-goal deficit is really, really hard enough. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that. And to think about the fact that the opposition is Barcelona, up there with PSG, I think they have the best midfield in the whole of Europe at the moment. That Barca midfield really works wonders, and that's why the front three look so good. Like you're all saying, they look really good. Their numbers, Rafinha, Lewandowski, their numbers look really, really good because of the kind of supply and industry that those young guys in the middle of the pitch, Pedri, etc., are giving. And Hansi Flick, you know, he likes to play heavy metal football, high tempo. But this is a curious game where I think Hansi Flick is going to manage the game, the pace of the game. He's not under any pressure. He has a 4-goal lead. The logical thing will be to control the frantic movement of the Dortmund guys. And we all know how the Signal Iduna can be with the fans playing that 12th man role. We know the kind of atmosphere Dortmund will try to create. But I trust Hansi Flick and his Barcelona team. I think they've been there. And for what he's been able to achieve in his first season with this team, I think it just boils down to experience in this particular one. They have to manage the game. They need a professional performance. They don't have to go out there and give us 3, 4, 5 goals, nothing flashy. And I think that is what I mean, the longer the game goes on and Dortmund fail to score, I think they'll get nervous. We'll see a lot of tactical fouls and intelligent plays because this Barcelona team can't really work you. And they've been favorites the whole time. I think they've qualified for the semi-final. We all know that. I'm actually hoping we see a matchup between Barcelona and PSG because, I mean, you can argue on different fronts about the capabilities of these two teams. The both of them, by far, above all other teams, have the best midfields in Europe. And this Dortmund team are playing for nothing but their pride. I think they deserve to, their home fans deserve that victory in front of the home crowd. They are not going to qualify. I think we've all accepted that unless stranger things have happened in football, but unless something really miraculous happens it's not going to happen for Dortmund. I think, and the changes by Niko Kovac also is just to give a run in for the players who haven't really had the feel of the Champions League, because I think he knows that their time is up on this one. I look at the lineup and they've been brave enough to go for the 3-4-3 formation. So I think they are going for it. They are going to throw the kitchen sink at it. They are going to give it everything they can. But once the first Barcelona goal goes in, I think it's curtains down for them, and they know it. So hopefully they are coming to give a good account of themselves and prepare for next season, because the Bundesliga race is done. The Champions League, I can say virtually, is done, unless a miracle happens, like Clayton
There's
said.
no amount of miracle. Stop. Let's not give it. Because one of these, their players will listen to this stuff now and be like, okay, it's like we have hope. Bruh, there's no hope.
It's less than a 1% chance. But
There
Clinton,
is
never
no
say never.
1% chance, Sarah.
They were given a 1% chance. Barcelona.
Clinton,
to go
you
through
remember?
is
You remember
99.
you remember when AC Milan? You remember when AC Milan was 3-0 up against Liverpool in 2005? We all said it was done.
Where was AC Milan in their league table at the time?
Oh well, AC Milan was a very strong team, but
Okay,
nobody
thank
expected Liverpool. Liverpool, who were out of the automatic. I think Liverpool finished 7th in the Premier League that season, but they came back and fought. And look at the caliber of players they have. So on a Champions League night, where a red card can split the game and give hope to one team, let's never say never. But I mean, on the balance of probability, I think the Barcelona team have it firmly in control, unless they really give it away. And I don't think Hansi Flick is that kind of manager to play defensive. I think he'll manage the game. He knows he'll control the bulk of possession, and it will be a very pragmatic performance.
If Dortmund comes back, in fact, if they score four goals today, forget about whatever Barcelona will do, whatever goals Barcelona scores. If Dortmund scores 4 goals today, I quit my job.
That would be interesting to see, though. Them score. Not
No, listen, you will not
No,
see me
no,
on
you
this show
quitting.
again. You will not see me. Yeah,
But them,
I'm telling
them
you.
scoring 4. No, I was saying that would be interesting to see.
No,
Score 4.
that's what I'm telling you. That listen, you guys don't know how.
But
short-
if they score 4, Barcelona is going to definitely also get something on the board. They won't score 4 unanswered goals. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Even if Dortmund score 1 or 2 even, Barcelona are still on aggregate up 4-2. And then you want that front 3 to just watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, even no. Let's imagine Barcelona defense. Like, wait, let's say they score the first one. See, it is not even if they decide. See, there's what they call INEC in Nigeria, the electoral, how do they call it? Anyways, it's our electoral commission. Even if they go and pay those people and say, listen, yeah, we know, do something with the ref, we'll blow you guys. It will still nothing. They are not
What
going
about 10
anywhere.
against 11? 10 against 11.
Even
What about
if
10 men
Dortmund
against
has
11?
17 players against 11 Barcelona, they are still not qualified. I'm telling you, like, this one is not. I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona is strong. I think Barcelona this season.
This
have
Barcelona.
proved, I mean, yeah, this Barcelona team this season. I mean,
See,
first
it's
team.
just that I'm a Real Madrid fan. Let me be very sincere. This Barcelona team that you see currently, right? If Madrid has 13 players, now the Madrid that I currently see, and they face 11 Barcelona, they might beat Real Madrid. I'm being sincere with you guys.
I mean,
I'm
we've
not-
seen what they did to them in the Clásico, so it is possible. I don't think Carlo has found the antidote for that high pressing game Barcelona bring to the fore, and they run you down. And I mean, the mileage, those kids, Pedri. I mean, the mileage, the work they put in that midfield. I think Dortmund probably really have to go direct. I think the midfield route won't work for them tonight if they are to fancy their chances. Set pieces, long balls, they'll have to rely on a certain amount of luck to probably get 1 goal on the board, 2 goals on the board. But it's going to take something really, really dramatic on a European night like this for Dortmund to be able to stake a claim. Maybe get
be
2 or
honest,
3 goals even.
So to be honest, I just thought about something though, and this is the only way I think Dortmund can qualify, literally play. If they are able to blindfold 4 or 5 Barcelona players or pour them sand, like they can't for like just. But if they want to depend on who want to play, like literally they want to use ball, they want to start passing and they want to score and come back with this Barcelona. See, it's more easier for me to be Nigerian president now than for Dortmund to qualify or to go through the next round.
You know, Clinton, I was thinking Hansi Flick was going to rest a few players because
thinking
he's
that
fighting
too.
he's fighting on three fronts. He's fighting for the Copa del Rey, the La Liga, and also so I was thinking but you see the lineup and you can see the clear statement of intent.
Yeah.
He's not going to take any prisoners. He's going to go at them. I don't think he's a manager who fancies losing a game. He's going to go at them with the best of his armory. I think he wants to win again at the Signal Iduna. Dortmund should just make sure they're able to build some momentum. They need a goal or two in the first half, and then probably there'll be doubts in the minds of the Barca players. But this is where experience and game management comes in. I think the tie was over at the Camp Nou.
Well,
do you even know what the funny thing is? This is the kind of game I would have been thinking that Ferran Torres would be starting,
But I think that's exactly what Eustace is saying, is Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is not the type of manager that will underestimate another team, number one.
Yeah.
He knows German football. He knows the Signal Iduna very well. So he's playing pretty much his starting lineups. The only three subs we're seeing. Pedri getting rest. I love that because Pedri is arguably one of the most important players for Barcelona. He's the engine of that team. Meanwhile, Gavi, every time he's been playing since his injury, has been brilliant. So quick sub there, and you have Frankie still. That's fine. You have Inigo Martinez, who's out because he's been playing a ton of football, and he's also a little bit older. So that's where I see kind of the management of players and who's playing what game. I see that sub for, Ronald Araujo coming in. I see that being strategic. And then Gerard Martin, as we know, Balde picked up an injury against Leganés, but if it wasn't for that injury, Balde would be starting this game 100%. That's the only problem for Barcelona's lineup where I see a little bit of a hole because Gerard Martin isn't as experienced. Alejandro Balde, one of the best left backs in world football right now. We know the effort that he puts in. He's able to track back his tackling, his creation up front. Gerard Martin is not that player. So if anything, maybe Dortmund, maybe your boy, Sam Adeyemi, going up against
he's one of the players I was even going to mention because when you look at the last game they played, honestly, I was very disappointed. I expected so much from Adeyemi, and I don't know if you see, this is the reason why sometimes I would say there are players who are literally born to give you this show of class literally anytime they're on the pitch. And there are some of them that it's almost like it's a seasonal stuff. Adeyemi is one of those players that has now confirmed and is giving me that impression that he's a seasonal player and he's not really that guy whom I felt was going to be what we see with the likes of maybe Lamine Yamal now, and maybe, Rafinha is probably one of the players whom it didn't really start very well for. And, with this Barcelona currently, he's literally one of the top dogs in that team. But when you look at that three for Dortmund, you would be thinking that, okay, even if they are going to win us, they're not going to win us up to that kind of 4 goals deficit, But, you're looking at a Guy Racy who's probably one of the most top strikers in Europe currently. You're looking at one of the fastest player in Adeyemi and being battered by a Barcelona. Like, yes, of course, Barcelona, they are a very good team currently playing on very high standards and levels, but not for you to concede 4. And now trying to play that catch-up game in your home. Like, the fans now, I'm sure a lot of them will be expecting some kind of miraculous stuff that's going to happen in their stadium today. But the real fans, I'm sure, they pretty much know that this Champions League competition is definitely over.
I don't think they're in denial for sure.
I mean,
they know for sure. The real fans would know that, hey, it's the end of the road for us.
Let's just have a nice home game and see what happens. Okay, guys, before we move along, Shantelle, I'll ask you for a prediction for this match. What's the score going to be?
On aggregate, final, let's see. I think I'm feeling a 6-2. I feel like Barcelona is going to come with 2.
So it'll be 2-2 tonight?
No, you're right. Hold on. I feel like it's going to be 6-1.
6-1. Okay, so
6-1,
2-1 to
sorry.
Barca. So on aggregate.
On aggregate.
Okay,
so
on aggregate.
Barcelona
2-1
will
tonight.
pick up 2, and maybe we see 1 from Dortmund.
So you don't think Dortmund will score more than 1 today?
No, I just don't see it happening. Based on
Clinton?
how they played the first leg, and even though we've seen changes, I don't have that much confidence.
For some reason, I see this game ending the 2-2.
Really?
Okay.
And reason is only because, first of all, I don't think that Barcelona will be banking on just pushing up and wanting to score goals, right? Now, what we're going to see with Dortmund today is they are going to be playing proper offensively because they know that they have something to catch up. They would want to try, right? Now, what I'm predicting is, let's say during that first half, it doesn't go the way Dortmund would expect. At that point, Barcelona might end up maybe using some kind of counter-attack from maybe Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. They'll work something out for Lewandowski and his cause. And then at that point, what the Dortmund coach will be saying is, guys, okay, hang on. I think we've lost this one. Let's now try to control, this our loss. Let's try to avoid more goals. So when you look at that sheet and you look at the aggregates, because sometimes when you look at that embarrassing moment of say Barcelona ends up scoring an extra 3 goals and it's like 7 to maybe 1 or 2, assuming they scored 2 goals this evening. That's very embarrassing, right? So what I see tonight is definitely it's either a draw or Barcelona wins. However, we would not see. We will just see a lot of counter from Barcelona because these guys are going to be so desperate this evening on trying to get goals, and that's what Barca will use against them.
Okay, so 2-2.
2-2 for me.
Eustace?
My prediction is a very curious one. I don't think we'll see as many goals as we saw in the first leg. I think Barcelona, even though they will control the game, will be very, very conservative. I think with that lineup, I'm looking at Fermin Lopez and the role he's going to play as a link-up man between the midfield two. That's Frankie de Jong and then Gavi, obviously. I think it will be more of a counter-attacking plan and to catch Dortmund because Dortmund will be pushing forward so much. I think Barca will contain most of the time and therefore they won't be too aggressive to get past second or third gear in transitions. So I'm thinking we'll see a low-scoring game, not as many goals as we saw in the first leg. Experience has taught me that when we have too many goals in the first leg, usually both of the teams become very conservative and defensive, trying to blot out and cancel out each other. I think we'll see a 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes. Barcelona go through 5-1 on aggregate.
Okay. I honestly think all of your predictions are quite possible. I don't think we're going to see more than 4 goals in this one, 2-2. But I'm going to back my team. And I'm going to go 2-1 with Shantelle as well. I think, like you mentioned, Hansi Flick, Eustace, wants a win. They'll take a draw, but if they can get the win, and with the players up front, and like we said, with what we saw from Dortmund, I'm struggling to see Dortmund even win this game. Even if Barcelona go through on aggregate, I'm struggling to see them win this game. So I'm going to go 2-1 as well. Now, before we jump to all the action at Villa Park, let's take a look at tomorrow's match. Just a little quick preview. Nua at the Madrid training ground to see what the vibes are like ahead of the big one tomorrow for Real Madrid.
Okay, so I'm at Valdebebas, where the open training session and the press conference just took place. Of course, the press conference had Carlo Ancelotti, but I also had Jude Bellingham. And if there's anything that we can take off the press conference is confidence. They are confident. They do realize this is going to be a very difficult game, but they are confident because Santiago Bernabeu, they're surrounded by their fans and they feel confident of that. Remontada is something that was repeated by Jude Bellingham, by the players, but also by the coach. So we could expect them to give us something to watch and something to pray for tomorrow at the game.
Honestly, I've heard it about a million times since last week. I've seen a million videos online and made by fans, made by kind of you guys, I suppose, and really motivating stuff. It's a night that's made for Real Madrid, a night that would go down in history, but also be something that people are familiar with around this part of the world. So, hopefully we can add another special night. Honestly, I've heard
La remontada being thrown around at Valdebebas, and no shock there. Real Madrid know that they have to have a serious remontada tomorrow night if they want to beat Arsenal, down 3-0 in that one. So we'll leave that drama, though, for tomorrow, Clinton.
Remontada!
Remontada.
To be honest, Jude Bellingham gave me that new word, in as much as he's no Spanish, but the moment he said it, I think it's just clicked in my brain, and now I know what comeback is in Spanish. You didn't know that? No,
I knew that because this is something they always use.
Oh my God.
Clinton, I'm not gonna lie.
No, come on,
Eustace,
Clinton,
wait.
come on.
We're bringing in Accra. Eustace.
No, but he's already heard us say it on the show, though.
Hi,
you
Sarah.
knew
I'm
what
still here.
remontada
Come
was
on.
before
He's a
Jude
Real
Bellingham
Madrid fan,
said it,
come
right?
on.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Was it because
I
of?
did.
Can I guess what game? Maybe Barcelona
Tell
PSG.
me. Yeah. I had it.
Clinton,
I had
everyone
it
knew because that's like the
6-1 game.
iconic
Yeah.
remontada in
Yeah.
Champions League. And that's what they called even British newspaper, media in Africa, everyone was using the term
Right,
remontada.
Have you ever heard this one, money now?
No.
Exactly. Good.
But he's in Africa and he's known it. So your point falls once again
Well,
because he just Eustace just said he knew it.
No, I mean that's
Shantelle,
No, but it's the way he's
Jamaica
under the
knew
bus
it.
and he was trying to drag me under the bus with him. Like, come on,
no.
we hear this word a lot, Clinton. It's
well.
okay.
No, listen. It's not like I didn't know it, obviously.
Okay.
But I was just trying to test you guys' knowledge to see how good you are on it. But since you didn't even know the one I said, just end it there, man. You guys learn. We learn every day, bro. You will learn every day, right, Eustace? Exactly.
Yeah,
now
we
today.
do.
Today, they know what's money now. Well, you guys still don't know it.
No, we didn't because you didn't teach us. So brilliant job once again. Okay, let's go to Lucrezia really quickly and check in with social media and see what they have to say about Barcelona and Dortmund before we move along to Aston Villa and PSG.
Yeah, sorry. We have quite a few score prediction. AD Samuel says Borussia 2, Barca 4 tonight, so aggregated 8-2. That's a lot of goals.
I mean,
Then,
we're happy.
Someone said, I think Barcelona would progress to the semifinals with a 1-1 win tonight, so aggregate 5-1. Nikki Vivian says, Sara, there is a 94% chance that Dortmund will win. I don't know what they got this stat from. Damn. And then Kelvin Prince, Barcelona 6, Dortmund 1 on aggregate, as Shantelle was saying. So they still see Barcelona scoring more tonight.
Still outscoring Dortmund at home. I mean, wow. I mean, even the four of us were still unsure about that one. So we'll have to see. We'll see what they can do. But this team is unbeaten in 2025, 24 games unbeaten. So, I mean, anything is possible, I guess. But let's move to Villa Park, where we have Aston Villa hosting PSG after going down 3-1. And some changes here made, or maybe not made, in this lineup. For Aston Villa, Dibu Martinez obviously starting as their keeper. Matty Cash, Konza, Pau Torres, and Digne, no changes there. Onana getting in instead of Ramsey with Tielemans and Kamara in the middle. And John McGinn, Rashford, and Rogers. So one change made here. We all thought it was going to be Ollie Watkins, but it's not. It's Onana getting the start over Ramsey. Before I jump to PSG's lineup, Eustace, what do you think about Unai Emery and his faith in Marcus Rashford and starting him again as the striker over Ollie Watkins?
Unai Emery is a very, very interesting manager. We all know his exploits with Sevilla and how he cherishes these European nights and what he's done before in the Europa League, obviously. This is a step up. But to even get to this stage and be in the conversation, I mean, he deserves full credit. He's gone to the Parc des Princes. He took the lead. And as he found out that PSG midfield, like I said, right up there with Barcelona, Fabian Ruiz and co, actually showed him that he couldn't outplay them. He's a very, very interesting character when it comes to tactics. And as you've seen in the Premier League, against the big teams, you've seen how he's deployed his tactics. Marcus Rashford is a player of quality. He's come from Man United, a few confidence issues, but he's really found himself and the rhythm seems to be going right. He's one of those players who needs that consistent fuel of playing to give that confidence rise to and bring him up to speed with his maximum ability. I think it's the right choice. He knows he has to go for it. He has a deficit of 2 goals, and he's kept faith with his team. But what people need to know about Unai Emery is that he's a very intelligent manager who is able to read the game. I think by now he knows half of the tie gone, and he knows that he cannot match Luis Enrique when it comes to the quality of personnel, especially in the middle of the pitch. I think there's a game where he's curiously going to go for the direct kind of play, the long balls. He's going to be a bit more physical, try and avoid the midfield route because he knows he can't win there. But he needs to come up with 2 goals somehow. Probably rely on set pieces, corner kicks. He's going to be very aggressive on those things. But the main point will be to contain this PSG team. We saw what they did at Anfield last time they were in England. I mean, they ran rings around Liverpool, and all season long, Liverpool had looked so good. But any team that has come up against PSG, you can tell the gap in quality. Luis Enrique has built a serious machine, and I think honestly they are favorites for the Champions League, regardless of what anybody says about their history of not winning it. But I think they can smell an opportunity. It's a crucial opportunity for them to get to the semi-final and the final. And I think they are going to play their cards right. They have a lead. Once again, they don't need to overly attack. They don't need to exert themselves too much. Aston Villa are the team under pressure at Villa Park in front of their home fans, needing that result. So I think Unai Emery will have to be very intelligent and pick his moments, because PSG is going to have the lion's share of possession first of all, and those moments must count. And when it comes to that, you need to rely on the quality of certain players. I think he's kept faith with Marcus Rashford, and I think it's absolutely the right thing to do. I'm looking at that lineup from Aston Villa. John McGinn and Rogers will spearhead that attack. Yuri Tillemans, really, really intelligent player. I think he'll fall back to assist Onana. And it was crucial that he got Onana in the middle of the pitch, because I'm sure he must have watched the first leg over and over again and could tell that he was outplayed in the middle of that pitch. He's going to need some presence, some reinforcement, really, really strategic play in the middle of that pitch. Otherwise, if he allows PSG, Vitinha, Neves, and Fabian Ruiz will run the show again. I think they'll run it anyway, but he has to find a way to counter their tactics. And it looks like a very interesting game. If Aston Villa are able to get the first goal in the first half, it's going to be a showdown in the second half, because it will go right down to the wire. A second goal means they go into extra time. But I think, once again, PSG have come too far, have played too well to let this slip. If they score a first goal themselves, I think it's game, set, and match. This is one game where I think we'll see goals. However, wherever it's coming from, we need to see goals. PSG haven't played a dormant match, since I could remember. They always score 2-3, and their goal-to-game ratio is out of this world at the moment. It's a very productive machine, well-drilled system, and I think it will be impossible to imagine them not scoring. So I think Aston Villa need at least they need 2 or 3 goals tonight to give themselves any chance whatsoever.
Let's talk a little bit about Aston Villa before we move to PSG here, Shantelle. A lot of the narrative regarding this game is the fact that it's at Villa Park. Aston Villa have only lost 2 matches in 25 home matches at Villa Park. The last time was all the way back in October, on the 30th of October against Crystal Palace, an FA Cup match. And then before that was Arsenal in the second week of the Premier League in August. So, you do have to credit the Villa fans, Villa Park itself, that 12th man effect, as we always say. But do you think that that's enough against this PSG?
Honestly, this season's PSG, it's something else. And I'm standing 10 toes behind Aston Villa because, one, I think that they're the underdog. I don't think anybody would have seen Aston Villa.
It's not because PSG knocked them out of the Champions League?
Okay, that too. But also because they're the underdogs. And I'm a sucker for an underdog story, you know? And you're right, they have been dominant at home this season. In the Premier League, they have, 15 wins, 9 draws. And when they're playing at home, we see great things from them. Now, is that enough? I hope it will be. The strong home form gives them a fighting chance. I guess they will need two goals. Hopefully, PSG doesn't score any to progress. And Villa, I think they will have to adapt to a very high-pressing game, trying to force mistakes from PSG backline. And even with the goalkeeper, Martinez, he will also have to play a very crucial role. He will have to give a near-perfect performance to even give Villa a chance. So I want to say that, again, I'm not saying this because I would love if they could avenge Liverpool, but I would love to see them give PSG a run for their money, in what we'd say in Jamaica. Just put up a good fight, because I know that they can, because we've seen good performances from them. I'm a bit shocked that Watkins hasn't gotten the start.
Yeah.
And Rashford is there. Since he has been with Aston Villa, I want to say that we've seen him more confident. We've seen a different Rashford, but it didn't work in the first leg, you know? And I'm a bit shocked by that, because we know what Watkins is capable of doing. But Aston Villa, please, do this one for me. I beg of you, do this one for me.
Clinton, let's go through the PSG lineup, and then we'll talk a little bit about PSG in this one. Only one change made for Luis Enrique's side, and that's because Marquinhos, the captain, is slotting back in Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Marquinhos, Pacho, Hakimi with Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, and João Neves with two subs because Bradley Barcola is getting the start instead of Desiree Doué. Dembele and
Rascalia.
You can do it.
I heard you too, Eustace. I heard you. So two
Rascalia.
changes being made here, Clinton. We have Marquinhos in and we have Barcola in for Doué. With this PSG side, they're unbeaten in Liga. They've already won Liga. We spoke about this last week. They didn't have to play this weekend against Nantes. That game was postponed, so they're fully rested. They've had 6 days off. They've had no football to play. They haven't, lost a match in the league. The last time they lost was actually, in fact, to Liverpool in March in that match that we were watching here where Harvey Elliott scored in the 90th minute. This PSG side, with that midfield, with those defenders, and with that front three, even when you're bringing in the likes of Barcola and Doué, that's a fantastic sub. Is it just that PSG have too much for Villa?
No, listen, I look at these two teams, right? And, honestly, when you look at that Villa team, if everybody was playing to the level where we would expect them, I think you would pretty much call them a very good team as well. When you look at, first of all, I'm actually surprised to see Marcus Rashford starting, knowing that they need this win by every single...
Ollie Watkins, 14 goals in the Premier League.
I mean, Ollie Watkins, we can literally put Ollie Watkins at least top 7 strikers in the world.
Sure.
And 6 assists just in case he's not scoring. Like, come on.
Literally, knowing that this is a win or nothing game. And when I'm saying a win, you're winning comfortably that you are able to say, PSG, we are taking you off the Champions League. And having to start Rashford, knowing that, he's that guy. I'm not going to say Rashford has 100% of his confidence back. I think he's still a process. He's still a guy that's still going through that whole, Manchester time was not the best for me. I've now started in a team where, he's almost picking up that confidence. But I don't think the confidence is like 100 where you will compare it to
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. And we know that Ollie Watkins is literally the number 1 striker for that team. When John Duran was there, John Duran even came as a sub for Ollie Watkins. Now, I see no reason why in a very crucial game of this nature, you don't have an Ollie Watkins starting. What is the reason for that? Are they trying to, my question here is, are they trying to save the confidence of Rashford over the team winning? But because I pretty much understand, like, maybe there are some players that it might go into them mentally to say, hang on, why am I not starting this time when I started last week? Is it because I just didn't give them... Is it because we lost our game with me starting? Now you want to start something? Is this going to have... I don't know what the whole motive behind him starting this one is, but I would say this is a very wrong move for Unai Emery because it just... I mean, look at what's happening with PSG though, Sara. Listen, there is not. Listen, David, you've just mentioned the player that's been brought in the person of Barcola, right? I would take this guy over the guy that started for them last week.
Desiree Doué.
Literally, in all honesty, I've seen this guy do crazy stuff on the pitch, right? I've seen this guy give defenses some serious problems, right? You now want to talk about Kvaratskhelia? God help me with that name. But listen, when you look at the front three of PSG, everything Unai Emery should be thinking now is, bro, if you can go and buy okay, what? Right. I don't know. You cannot buy Lamine Yamal at this time because he's going to be performing somewhere else. But, bro, you would do anything possible to have your best on the pitch today. If there's any team that should be saying, okay, you know what, let's start this one, let's start that one, it should be PSG because they are on the upper hand right now.
Like, not to cut you, Clinton, but in the press conference, Emery, because they asked him about Watkins, and he said that, he's fine, he's good, ready to play. So seeing the starting lineup and not seeing him starting is like, what's the logic here? Because, like, I'm trying to understand him not starting, because you need somebody like that.
I think the thing is with Watkins, with Unai Emery, and Eustace, tell me if you agree, is that, like you said, with Sevilla, we know what Unai Emery can do on, a European night in football. We know he knows Luis Enrique very well. Could this be some sort of tactical, decision here, maybe playing some mind games here? But it was almost 8 years ago today that we saw the famous remontada. And, of course, we were talking about this last week when it was Luis Enrique beating Unai Emery. So now, Eustace, could it be that the remontada becomes the remontadi? And that Unai Emery gets his revenge after going down 3-1, and maybe he has something that we just can't see right now?
Well, definitely coming to this one with a man of Unai's experience, it's very clear to me that he must have mapped out a certain strategy of some sort. I'm sure he knows the strength of Oli Watkins, and if there's anybody in that Aston Villa team who's most likely to get them on the score sheet, he is the one. Does he want to bring him as an impact player? Is there a clear plan for him? Is it just a mind game against Luis Enrique? What is he up to? But I mean, I think Emery has been on this stage too many times to make an error like this. I don't want to consider it an error. I think he knows what he's doing. There must be a plan in place. There must be something in there. Is Rashford there for his set piece ability? Is he there for a confidence boost? What is it? But like Clinton rightly said, this is not the time to put one man's confidence ahead of the whole team's priority to get to the next stage. You are on a job. The professional KPI is to get 2 goals unanswered. You need your very best Arsenal in the game. Oli Watkins, for all of us, I mean, from where we sit, should be in that starting lineup with his eyes closed. However, here's Unai Emery, a man who has triumphed in Europe several times, taking a decision like this. And it only makes us curious. And I don't want to be too quick to judge. I think we should see how the game plays, and probably there's a role for Watkins in this one. Maybe he wants to go with a counter-attacking option. Maybe he wants him to come on as an impact player. Maybe he doesn't want him too marked in the game, because I mean, we can think around it all we want, but I don't think we'll get the solution until the game starts. But Aston Villa really need a strategy to work for them. I think they know that they are not going to have a lot of the ball, so certain moments must count. His best 11 are on the pitch to start with, and I think definitely at some point in the game we are going to see Oli Watkins bring his quality to the fore.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see. Can you do it on a cold night at Villa Park? We do have to get to our booking codes quickly before I come back and get everyone's prediction here. Shantelle, you have a booking code for this evening?
Yes, I do have a booking code. Will I be able to see it? Because I don't remember what I had on my...
Right
okay,
there.
here it is.
Read it.
Nice.
Oh,
So
you're doing the basketball
I have
tonight.
a basketball because Real Madrid and Paris basketball, they have the playing tournament tonight. And this is a huge one because it basically decides who will be in the playoffs. It's a big one. I've gone for TJ Shorts to have over 20 baskets because like in his last 3 games, this is average for
20
him.
points, 20
yeah,
points.
20 points, sorry. And Super Mario, of course, I've gone for
My
the same
favorite.
for, no, I think it's Tavares. Isn't it Tavares?
No,
Oh,
Super
you
Mario,
switched to Super Mario. Okay. Super Mario, I've gone for the same to be over 20 points as well because, again, these are safe bets. He does this on a regular game, so it should be the same for this. And I've gone for... It's really small, Sarah, help me with
All right, you've gone for under 45 and a half in
Yes.
the first quarter.
And again, if history repeats itself, it will be like that because like when I look at Paris basketball games, it's the same Real Madrid. And when I look at when they face each other, that's what I'm getting, the results. So guys, this is easy money. So go ahead and use my booking code. That's easy, quick money.
I love that.
But then again, it's 2.60. Shantelle, come on, make it like so. Get it to like go to 7 points, 8 points.
How
So-
about you work on your booking code?
No, I will eventually. But
I mean, if you want to talk about low booking codes, go ahead and pull mine up because I kept it easy tonight. And guess what, guys? I'll bring the heat tomorrow. I'll be honest with you.
oh God, Sarah.
I'm not, today's not the day. I'll bring the heat tomorrow. How about that? I promise you guys at home, I'll bring the
It's
heat.
easy, quick
When
money,
I
come on.
thought about it today, I think everything, maybe I'm hoping for everything to go smoothly, but I've gone for both teams to score, Aston Villa and PSG, as well as over 2.5 goals because I see goals in that one. Now, regarding Barcelona and Dortmund, I've just gone with both teams to score. I couldn't figure out where this one was going to go, but I do see both teams scoring in both matches, but more goals in the Villa and PSG match. Again, the fire will come tomorrow. I promise you. Alex Ashmore, who isn't here, also has a booking code, and he has gone for Aston Villa to win at home. Just to win, not to qualify. Over 2.5 as well in Villa and PSG. Home or draw for Borussia Dortmund in this one. And he's actually gone for the under, kind of thinking what Eustace was thinking. Not a lot of goals in that one for Barca and Dortmund. 9.55 for Ashmore's booking code, guys. So
Ashmore speaks my language, man. When you want to chop money, that's how you put it. 9.55.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
well, let's see if it hits, because if it doesn't, then we're all
I
having
mean,
a
I don't
laugh.
think it's going to hit, but
Okay, so what are we talking about? All right,
I
all
don't know, for some
right.
reason I see so many goals, man.
Come on.
All right, guys, we are just 5 minutes away from kickoff here. So, Eustace, it's time for your prediction. Aston Villa, PSG.
Well, I think we're going to have a scoring draw 2-2 for this one. I think
Okay.
yeah, it's going to end 2-2. Probably if it doesn't hit, that means PSG wins.
Okay. Well, there you go. Chantelle, come on.
I'm saying this because I hope
I know what you're hoping.
I jinx PSG, but 3 goals for Aston Villa. Let's go.
So you're gonna so they're gonna yeah. So they're gonna win. No overtime here. All right, KlintonCod.
Let's jinx PSG.
Honestly, PSG 3-1 to Aston Villa.
Oh, no.
3-1 to Villa.
I mean, so PSG winning the game.
Yeah, I'm backing it all day as well. I think I'm going to go 3-2. I think Villa has a lot of fight in them, but I think with this side up front, Vitinha in the middle, my goodness, this PSG, I just think is too much. But hey, Aston Villa, prove us wrong. Eustace, thank you so much as always. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we see you maybe tomorrow. Maybe you'll be just as happy as you were today.
Oh yes, definitely. Tomorrow,
Easy.
maybe the comeback is on. Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Getting scared.
All right, Eustace. Well, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow, and thank you once again for joining us. So
All
we'll
right,
see
it's been a
you. We'll
pleasure.
see you very soon. Enjoy the football. Chantelle, you're also leaving us
Yeah.
because Alex Ashmore is returning.
Yeah.
But we'll see you very soon. You'll be back.
I should be.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Let's go to Lucrezia here, though, because we've talked a lot of football. Lucrezia, Aston Villa, PSG. What is everyone saying about this one? Because this one's a little bit, it's not as straight as maybe Dortmund and Barcelona. Maybe.
Prediction to you guys. So Derek Thompson says 2-1 for PSG. So 4-3 aggregated with PSG going through. Then we have a Aston Villa fan saying that Aston Villa is going to score 4 goals and PSG 2 goals tonight. So Villa is going to go into, try to go into extra time because he believes it. He believes in a comeback. Then someone else saying PSG 2, Aston Villa 2. So that will still have PSG going through. AD Samuel says Rashford will score tonight and Lamine Yamal will bag his first career hat trick.
Oh,
Champions League.
inshallah.
That would be that would be amazing for him. And then we have Markinde trying to push Aston Villa because he's saying nobody is expecting a comeback from Aston Villa, whereas Real Madrid fans are expecting them to turn the 3-0, the 3-0 around. And the players also believe it. So Aston Villa should also have a big team mentality. They should believe that they can do it tonight. And then, Sara, I think this comment is interesting for you. Ninko's saying Barca would go through, but Inter will end their dream of winning the UCL.
Okay. All right.
To be honest, I
We'll
would love to
see.
see that happen, though.
Well, somebody regarding comebacks who wants to see an Aston Villa comeback. Alex Ashmore joining us.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Where'd you
Long
go?
time no see. Just went to the pub,
Yeah.
had a few pints. got
Free
myself
show.
in
Free.
the-
Yeah, you would.
I mean, that's what English will do, though.
No, I was listening to Mikel Arteta and David Raya speak to the press ahead of tomorrow's big game. Of course, Clinton, you'll be there, and there were lots of questions about the remontada comeback.
Yeah, remontada. Remontada, man. Yeah, tomorrow by the time. I'm hoping that remontada does happen. But the way I'm seeing things, honestly, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Remon. We will see Remon, but Tada. I'm not too sure of Tada, man.
Get out of here. All right,
They will
guys.
come to the pitch, but back, nah, man.
All right.
I mean, I have hope in Real Madrid. I believe You see, when they say come back, I don't know if it's this current Real Madrid. That's where we'll discuss this stuff properly tomorrow.
We will. We have a lot to get into tomorrow, but we are just a minute from kickoff here at Signal Iduna Park. So one more time, the lineups here: Borussia Dortmund, Kobel, Sule, Anton, and Ben Ispani, Yanquoto, Gross, Mecha, Svensson. Up front, Adeyemi, Girassi, and Bayer. For Barcelona, Szczesny, Gerard Martin, Ronald Araujo, Cubarsí, and Koundé. Gavi, Fermin, and Frankie de Jong up front. Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal. Over to Villa Park. One more time for the lineups: Dibu Martinez, Maricash, Konza, Pau Torres, and Digne, Onana, Tielemans, Kamara, McGinn, Rashford, and Rodgers. And for PSG, it's Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Marquinhos, Pacho, Hakimi, João Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, and Kvicha,
Kvaratskhelia.
Dembele, and Bradley Barcola. Alex, you were in here when we were just speaking about the fact that Marcus Rashford is staying in this lineup. He was there last week. He was there over the weekend against Southampton. Getting too excited over here. What are your thoughts on Ollie Watkins not getting the start and Unai Emery sticking with Marcus Rashford?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised. I think it was Shantelle that said it. I'm in agreement with her. I think given the magnitude of this game and given how poorly Rashford performed last week, and poorly may be too harsh, but given how absent he was, I think, and given how well PSG defended last week, I think you need something different in that attack. And Ollie Watkins definitely brings that. I think his firepower, we all know how well he's done this season and in previous seasons for Villa. So just to have something different as well, because PSG will come into this thinking, well, we had Rashford locked down last week, we do the same again, and the plan will go ahead. But I think when you look at what Rashford brings to games like this, I do think he can be a danger, but they have to do something different other than last week, otherwise it'll be the same result. Absolutely.
Can I get your predictions on these two matches as they kick off really quickly?
Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, I'm going to go 2-1 Borussia Dortmund.
Okay.
And for Aston Villa, PSG, I'm going to go 2-0 Aston Villa, and then Aston Villa to win on penalties.
2-0. I'm just writing it down so we can all have this stored here. 2-0 to Villa, so they're going to draw it and then go to penalties and win on penalties. Yes. All right. Well, let's check that at Sporty Bet. But we have kicked off here at Villa Park. The first minute in, the fans are screaming. The shirts are off in Birmingham, and you know it's not warm there, so the Villa fans are getting behind it here. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a really beautiful tifo. We were talking about tifos on the Sporty Show just yesterday, and Villa had a brilliant tifo with some lions on it saying, hey, we're here, and we are ready. Meanwhile, at Barcelona, just getting through the moment of silence and the players taking their positions, kicking off in just a few moments here. Sorry, guys, I'm really losing my voice here. Alex, so overall, the vibe from Mikel Arteta, positive, negative, nervous. What was he giving?
I think confident, quietly confident, though. Both him and David Raya, there were a number of questions talking about Real Madrid and the aura that Real Madrid have as a team in the Champions League and how they're going to deal with that. And I think they're quietly confident in their abilities to manage that. What a chance for Villa that is. Yeah, I think they're quietly confident in their ability to apprehend is the wrong word, but to quash any onslaught from Real Madrid. And I think when you look at the first leg, I think Arsenal were almost perfect in that game. If they can just do half of that, I think it will be good enough to beat Real Madrid tomorrow night. But going into this, I think they're wary and they know that anything can happen. So they're going in this to try and win the game and take the game to Real Madrid, I think, and it was a funny question at the end. Someone asked Arteta, this may sound like a stupid question, but why are you going in there to win it when you know a draw is enough? And Arteta said, well, we're going to go in to win every game.
Yeah.
And I think tomorrow is the same thing. They have to go in with that mentality that Real Madrid could score an early goal and it gets really interesting. So they have to take the game to Real Madrid.
There's something about this Real Madrid and early goal that feels like it's definitely going to happen, because I've been hearing it from so many people, man. Real Madrid scored in the first 15 minutes. Is it? Wait, do they think Arsenal are just going to sit there? Like, wait, listen, when you look at the Arsenal defense, is Gabriel back?
No, he's out for the rest of the season.
Right, okay. So we still have Saliba there, though?
Yeah. Saliba and probably, well, I think Ben White might be back.
Right.
But okay. I don't know whether he'll start at centre-back. Obviously, he's just coming back. So could be another Kivior appearance in that defensive position.
I mean, in all honesty, though, I don't see any. I just feel like, yeah, if they did score. Hang on, I think there's something going on in the Aston Villa versus PSG game. Was that a...
No, sorry, I was just pointing out the fact that right now, as it stands, 91% for PSG to qualify, with a 9% chance to Aston Villa. That may change. Continue, Clinton, sorry.
No, not going to continue now.
Not going to continue. For those of you watching the Barcelona-Dortmund match, Barcelona are wearing white shorts in honor of their 125th anniversary. So if you're wondering why, paying some tribute to the club, the very old club. Alex, if you don't mind doing me a favor and checking the odds for these matches.
Sure.
Thank you very much. All right, 4 minutes in at Villa Park, and Villa have to dominate here, and it looks like they are so far. Kind of regarding Real Madrid scoring early, it's similar to Villa in the sense that I think it's not the fact that you, Clinton, you're saying, like, I feel like they're going to do it because people are saying it. I think they have to do it for themselves.
Of course.
It's about the team kind of switching the morale. If Aston Villa scores early in this match, that changes everything. If Real Madrid do the same against Arsenal, 2 goals here become 1 goal for Aston Villa. I mean, it's even obviously closer than Real, but the team that Real Madrid are at the Bernabeu as well. So I think it's the mentality to shock the other team as well, right?
Yeah.
Come in swinging.
Yeah. I think having that one early goal, it kind of upsets their opponent. It kind of like brings, gets them to that mental state where it's like you put that level of fear in them.
Yeah.
And we know what fear does on this kind of stages. It kind of like makes you start maybe giving the wrong passes, start playing under severe pressure, But like I said, it's still an Arsenal though. When you look at these Villa versus PSG, I'm quite happy to see how Villa has started so far. They seem to have been pressing. They've been playing in the other half of PSG, and if they're able to get a goal, say between now and the halftime, I think there will definitely still be hope for Aston Villa. However, for Real Madrid tomorrow, these are guys trying to come back on 3. I mean, they're still worse when you look at Dortmund at the end of the day. But hang on, wait. I'm looking at Dortmund seem to...
First chance for Dortmund there.
Yep, and PSG just nearly scored.
If PSG score first, it is going to be very difficult for Aston Villa. I'm struggling right now.
I think if PSG scores 1 and maybe add an extra 1, that stadium is going to be empty in less than 5 minutes.
No chance.
Yep, definitely.
They're not as fake fans like you are.
I am telling you, I've seen. I don't. You want to bet with me again? Let's 2 goals from PSG.
But the Villa Park will be half empty.
At least. Yeah.
Want to bet?
How are we going to quantify this?
If 2 goals actually going from PSG.
Yeah.
If 2 goals doesn't go, then I love it. I love chopping this guy's money.
Wait.
So
I want to hear the.
But you're saying half of the stadium is going to be empty.
Oh my goodness gracious! Dortmund had a chance there against Barcelona. Sergei Guirassy. We said that he was going to be the one. He wants to score. He has that record in the Champions League. Trying to chase Rafinha for top goal scorer in this Champions League campaign, but 0-0 still at Signal Iduna. Back to your bet.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that if PSG goes 2 goals up against Villa, that stadium is going to be half empty in 5 minutes after the second goal. That's what I said.
€15. That doesn't happen. 15
Whoa,
euros.
up the ante.
No, 15 euros.
15 euros that doesn't happen.
But okay, so the question now is, there must be 2 goals from PSG for this to stand, right?
Yeah. All right, obviously, if there's 1 goal and it happens, it won't happen no matter what happens. But there has to be 2 goals for the bet to start.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the one.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it here. That's the 3rd bet between Ashmore and KlintonCod. If you were with us last week, Alex did lose 20 euros in 2 bets, but they were very exciting, I will say. We were all entertained. So we're back at it. Clinton versus Ashmore once again.
I've made more money from Ashmore, since...
Well, PSG on the break here. Oh, okay. Wow,
I think that's a foul.
That's you can't put 2 hands up to a player like that.
I honestly don't understand what's up with the ref.
Dortmund putting pressure on Barcelona here in the area. praying that they score first. Trying to see. I think our producer is trying to blind me today with the size of this game and my eyeballs this match.
I'm quite impressed with Dortmund, the way they've started the game, though. The question is how long? And when you look at Villa as well, like, I think the two teams that are fighting for something, they pretty much are going into the game already. Okay, I think
But the first 3 minutes, Barcelona were on Dortmund's side.
Right.
Dortmund they need to score. So I mean, there's no shock here. Looking like there's a player down. That was his own fault, unfortunately.
No,
Jan
definitely
Quoto
not.
kind of running into the back of Gabby here and now on the ground asking for something, but
He was going for the ball, and it looked like, was it Gavi there?
Gabby was also facing the other way.
No, it was like, I see he was looking at the ball. Gavi was trying to watch where the ball was going, and
Yeah.
Gavi almost accidentally ran into him. And well, hopefully nothing serious.
Well, it is going to be a corner for Dortmund after all of that. Let's see if they can convert anything in this one. Right to the keeper. All right, Lucrezia, let's check in with you. We're about almost 10 minutes into both of these matches. How is social media? How is everyone reacting to kickoff here?
Hi, Sarah. So we have people replying to what I said about, Inter maybe being a hard team for Barcelona to beat. So, but someone's saying Barcelona isn't afraid of facing any opponent, including Inter Milan, and we will win the Champions League. Then Clinton, someone wants your football boots. Someone said, Clinton, please, you should send me your football boots. I
He
have
won't
no
use
idea
them
why.
after that ankle break.
No, tell the person I got them. I just needed to, because obviously there's another challenge coming between myself and Lamine Yamal. So
You need them for a little
Chance
bit.
for Dortmund, chance for Dortmund.
PSG on the attack.
And it's a penalty for Dortmund.
Oh,
PSG
goal! PSG scores!
Who's
PSG scores!
Hakimi out of all players.
Woo!
My, oh my. Wow, and it's all kicking off here. It looks like Achraf Hakimi has scored, but a penalty for Dortmund. They're just checking whether it's offside. I think a clash here between Serhej Guirassy and, no, that's not Guirassy, pardon me, Bayer, I believe, and Wojciech Szczesny. And I think it will be a penalty if it wasn't offside. Too much going on. It all kicks off here right at the same time. They're taking a look at VAR in this one. But let's take a look at that Achraf Hakimi goal while we wait for the decision over at Signal Iduna.
Slight deflection, I think, off one of the Villa defenders. It looks like,
Definitely on.
yeah, onside. I think it could be Pau Torres that the deflection comes off, or it's Emi Martinez, actually. The ball comes off.
Yes.
Martinez can't quite pull off the save. And that makes it 1-0 PSG.
Yeah.
I mean,
A good start for Aston Villa.
Definitely not.
it,
Definitely not.
I'm struggling to see this team come back at this point now. This is the worst way it could have gone. And just to let everyone know that it will be a penalty for Dortmund. It was not offside. So the tackle from Wojciech Szczesny was deemed a penalty, and I believe it will be Serhej Guirassy stepping up to the spot in this one. Against
Hi, guys. Are you guys seeing it come back from from Dortmund, though? Bruh. This would be...
Imagine.
No, listen. Imagine Barcelona does not go.
Do you know they would become, and I heard you guys talking about this earlier, obviously Barcelona, the only team to come back from a deficit of 4 goals or more. Do you know how many teams have failed to do it?
You said 140?
158.
So Barcelona's the only team to have done it?
Yes.
Wow. And it's a goal right down the middle for Guirassy. Not much Szczesny could do about it. Dortmund starting off the way they wanted to. Serhej Guirassy making it 11 goals in the Champions League for his campaign. Meanwhile, Aston Villa and PSG starting off the way they wanted to, and it's going poorly for Aston Villa. So 4-1 for Barcelona on aggregate. 3 more goals for Dortmund if they want to take this into extra time.
This is exactly what we expect from Real Madrid tomorrow. Please, Madrid. Hey, God. Just 1 goal before 9. This is actually 9 minutes, for Dortmund. Huh?
What?
9 minutes in, they got the first goal. This is exactly what I expect from Real Madrid tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm still okay.
No, of course. I mean, it's still 3 goals. It's still 3
I'm
goals.
still
I
okay
mean, you
here.
will not be okay by the time there is 2 goals in this first half.
Both scores are now the same on aggregate. 4-1, 4-1.
Hey, you're right.
That's true.
Although one tie seemingly seems very out of it, and the other tie you'd still say is...
No, you would say, Alex. I don't
No,
think.
I think Villa still have a chance of coming back in this.
Sorry.
No, definitely not Villa, man. Villa is done.
They still have a chance. They have a bigger chance than Dortmund.
Yeah.
Wait, at this stage?
Yeah, I think Villa have a bigger chance of coming back.
Alex,
Than
listen.
Borussia Dortmund.
listen.
Guys,
I'll
let
be
us
very-
know. Let us
Alex,
know on socials
Alex,
who has a better chance
you
of
think
coming back,
Borussia Dortmund
Villa
have a
or
bigger chance than
Dortmund, and we'll
Aston
go and check
Alex,
that out in a
honestly,
bit.
right? In all sincerity, yeah, whatever you smoked, that's what I've been searching for
Do
the
you
last 2
think?
months.
Do you think Borussia Dortmund have a bigger chance of coming back than Aston Villa?
Right now, from what I see, of course. Of course.
No chance against Barcelona.
What do you mean, bro? Okay, just relax. No, because I'm looking at Aston Villa don't seem to be. Yes, I mean their first 5, 7, 8 minutes, it wasn't bad. Like they felt like they were going to be that team that were going to do one of the comebacks. These. Oh my God! Wait, is this the team that you're telling me?
That
still
was
think they have a bigger
unfortunate
chance.
timing. Villa nearly give the ball away to PSG on a free breakaway there, but luckily scooped it up.
Jehovah.
Oh, okay. Like I said, guys, let us know on socials. We'll check in with Lucrezia in 5 minutes or so, but let us know who has a better chance of coming back, Aston Villa or Dortmund, and we'll see what the people have to say. 61% ball possession to PSG, 39-2 Aston Villa in this one. 1-0 to PSG away at Villa Park and 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund at home to Barcelona. 4-1 for both of these sides on aggregate. Okay.
Some odds updated.
Tell me.
Now that the goals have gone in. So
To qualify?
this is to. I'll give you. This is to
Okay.
win at the moment.
Sure.
Aston Villa to win is 6.75,
Oh.
and Borussia Dortmund to win is 1.75. That's to win, of course.
You know what? This game could end like this right now, and I'd
To
be happy.
qualify.
Oh my God! Look at Dortmund again.
To qualify, Borussia
Wish I
Dortmund
could.
are 13.
Sorry, one more time, Alex.
Borussia Dortmund are 13, odds of 13 to qualify, and Aston Villa have odds of 14.5.
So Dortmund are.
Currently, according
Favored.
to SportyBet, favourites.
That's what Clinton just
qualify
said, no?
If either of Aston Villa or Borussia Dortmund are to qualify.
Well, that's. There's a lot of football to be played here. We'll see. About 15 minutes into both of these halves. Oh my goodness, Dibu Martinez. No, that was Donnarumma.
No, that was Donnarumma,
Oh, sorry,
actually.
both
No.
of these two.
Actually-
Donnarumma, if it's not penalties, I don't trust him very much, if I'm honest with you as a keeper. Brilliant on penalties, but sometimes his decision making is just not there.
No way did Barcola just Okay, it was Nuno Mendes. No, this guy is good, man.
Nuno Mendes.
No, honestly, I think he's my best left back worldwide right now.
He's one of them for sure.
I mean, I feel like I know obviously you would always go for your Barcelona guy, but in all sincerity, without being biased, whether I'm a Real Madrid fan or I love Barcelona or whatever, listen, Nuno Mendes
Say it
is
again.
literally Nuno Mendes is best left back in the
Aston Villa on the break here, trying something. Not enough. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that.
Offside? No. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, but why did he have to wait? Though? This is what I don't understand.
Oh,
about
these offside flags sometimes so
I mean,
frustrating.
You
'cause
see Guy Racing even complaining there already. It's like,
this
why
is
you
for
not
the
racing?
onside here. Sorry for the penalty, and he was very much onside. Good decision made by the referee. Good run in actually. Not really much Chesney could do, if I'm honest. And then right
Ooh,
down the
did you
middle,
see where he put that? Ah!
Panenka.
Oh my God! I mean, that's what attracted me.
Ebwe.
K.
Get out. I didn't know you taught him the boy.
Nah, but this guy.
Now teach it to Lamine.
They need to start. They need. Okay, look. What? Look. Aston Villa. They are not good enough. They are not good. They need me.
Offside by a country mile, and offside by a country mile, and offside by a country mile.
Look, Aston Villa. Look.
By how far?
Country mile, in fact. Sorry, this is once again we're seeing. I mean, like half
That's
of Dortmund is
some next
offside
level
in this
offside,
one.
man.
See, this is what I mean. Dortmund scored this offside goal. I mean, Barcelona defenders didn't even need to go back to know what that was. But these are the kind of offsides that just kind of slow down the game a little bit. But Dortmund are definitely showing more hunger, I think, than Aston Villa.
Of course, definitely.
Whether they can do it is a whole nother story. But they're definitely showing. This is the last thing they have to fight for. Aston Villa arguably still have a chance in the top 5 now in the Premier League to make European contention, Champions League contention rather, next season.
Aston Villa.
But Dortmund, 8th place in the Bundesliga. Not much left here. This is it. Tonight is the final night for them to try and make something more out of the season. Oh la la, oh la la.
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma gets picked.
What was that PSG defender doing that though? Okay, I think.
Wow.
Okay, it looks like Aston Villa are kind of.
Oh, get out of here. Rafinha's ball to the... Oh, my goodness gracious. Nearly. Clinton just watched the replay here. Just the two of them linking up. Lucrezia, let's jump to you now and see if we have any answers regarding people's thoughts on the potential comeback of Dortmund versus Aston Villa.
Yeah, our viewers don't seem to believe comebacks are possible tonight. Musa is saying, I don't think any of them will come back. Then Mark Yandez says they both have a chance to win the match tonight, but to qualify is an understatement. And then Alex Sugar is saying both of them have the same goal aggregate, but Dortmund has a better chance than Aston Villa. PSG don't know home or away. They get the job done anywhere. So, okay, they just... regardless where they are, they would win, especially when they play away, I guess. So, yeah, nobody believes in comebacks tonight, guys.
Alex, so
it's very hard.
I heard one comment, but one comment more than nothing, that somebody else has also favoring Dortmund over a Villa comeback. We'll have to just see.
I just think against Barcelona, there's little hope. Little to no hope. But
I just think there's little hope for them
there's
against
little
PSG.
hope for there's little hope for Aston Villa as well, but I think given the circumstances...
Take a shot. Sorry, Barcelona on the break here.
How
Rafinha
poor-
trying to cross it. Trivella, no one's there.
How poor Dortmund have been this season compared to how well Aston Villa have been playing. Yes, they've not been in the top 4 or top 5 all season long, and they've been just outside. But I think the ability that their players have and the firepower that they have compared to Dortmund, I think they've got more of a chance.
All right, well, we'll have to find out 20 minutes into the match here. And 1-0 in both matches, 1-0 to PSG, 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. Clinton, we were talking about the players that PSG have up front and just the fact that they are too much for Aston Villa. And, of course, Desiree Doué is on the bench, Bradley Barcola getting the start. And you were talking about how dangerous he was. 18 goals and 16 assists for the young Frenchman this year. You have Desiree Doué, who's on the bench with 12 goals and 12 assists. Kylian. Wow. Sorry, that one was bad. I apologize. That was bad. Chance for Dortmund. And it's all Szczesny. Sorry, I can't say anything. Dembele, 32 goals this season, 10 assists. The front three of those 3 players alone, I mean, the stats are daunting if you're anyone. That's 70 goals between them all, 72.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who's only played 15 matches for PSG, but I think he has something like 4 goals and 4 assists. The talent up front alone, the fact that these guys can score goals is ridiculous.
No, literally, when you look...
He said, I tried to send you. No, if PSG scores, we're switching these two.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%.
We're having a conversation with our producer. Barcelona on the break here. Rafinha on the ball. Good defending by Dortmund. Nothing made of that. Meanwhile, PSG trying to counter as well. Whoa, asking for a penalty. Nothing given there, though. Clinton, back to the 3 up front for PSG.
Yeah, no, I'm saying when you look at that 3, if they were... I mean, you've just mentioned how many goals that they all share within themselves. So when you look at I think they could be as dangerous as what we have with Barcelona. We did Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal. Obviously, Lamine Yamal is not the guy who's producing the goals, but at least he's doing his job when it comes to the assists. And you now look at Rafinha, who seems to be scoring alongside Lewandowski. So you look at that Dortmund. I think Dortmund, they pretty much have what it takes, in all honesty, to not have been in the position they currently are, looking at the caliber of players that they have, they seem equally as dangerous as a Barcelona on paper. But why they would let Barcelona take this win, Barcelona literally ran away with this one. And, you know, this is a 4-1 aggregate currently. Like, it's sad, man. I just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, it's. Oh my goodness gracious! Morgan Rogers with the best chance so far for Aston Villa, going just wide of Donnarumma and that far post there. Let's have another look at that. He actually did well to get right around Bacho, takes the shot, and just a little bit too much there.
He didn't get a call.
Oh, Barcelona. Nope.
That's what I mean, yes, he's not going to make a substitution 20 minutes in, but that's where I feel like you want Watkins up front.
I think, well, I know, Alex, you were just coming on when we had Shantelle, but between the three of us and Eustace, I think all four of us were saying we didn't really understand why Ollie Watkins, like, you just know he's such, you know, a goal converter. He's there. He's going to make sure those, like, he's a proper striker. He's going to get those balls in the net. He's proven so this season. It's nothing against Rashford, but why wouldn't you go with what you have that's trusted?
And if I'm
You wonder if that's going to be the difference maker in this one. If you had started Watkins, would Aston Villa have already scored? Even if PSG scored, maybe they could have already, like, I mean, you never know. Hindsight's 20/20, right? But it did seem a bit strange, in my opinion.
He's also coming off a goal at the weekend, yes, against Southampton, but the confidence, obviously, for him, Rashford knows that he's under pressure after his performance last week, and we've quite often seen that with Marcus Rashford, that he not bottles himself up a little bit. We don't see him as much when he's under pressure, and at Man United he's been, I think, poor for a while now, and we've seen a little bit of a rejuvenation at Villa, but yeah, I just don't think after last week, especially knowing that PSG will be looking at him and thinking, we've got this guy locked down to a T, why not change it? I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. Dortmund on the attack here, just collecting.
I think, you know, the argument is that we know what Unai Emery is like on a night in Europe, in European football, and we know how talented of a coach he is, that why would you go against what he thinks, in the sense that he has so much experience here, but it just seems like there was such an obvious answer.
Yeah, I mean, there must be some reason that we don't know. I just really find it hard to see a reason why you start Rashford, given how well PSG thwarted him last week. I didn't see anything from Marcus Rashford last week, and
yeah, really quiet game.
I mean, I could tell you, Aston Villa could do with a certain John Duran at the moment. Actually, I feel like he could be quite a good addition to that forward line.
For real. Honestly, I think if they had a John Duran from the start, obviously I know this is all we wish, but you know, I don't think it would have been this bad, though, because they would have just had that flexibility of saying, all right, cool, Marcus Rashford, come out. Let's try this guy who would always come in from the bench and is always having some type of, it's just that, just some happiness in there.
Just a little bit of a switch up
Right.
on our televisions here as we're watching both of these games. We'll go back and forth, guys. We'll go back and forth. It's the only way. Wow. Marcus Rashford, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, you were done?
No,
That
we're
was
just
it?
speaking about the fact that we wish. Wait, who just scored? PSG scored again! Ah!
Oh, my Nuno Mensch. KlintonCod's. KlintonCod. Alex, you've got some explaining to do here. Wow.
Woo!
Aston Villa, how has this happened?
Ah.
2 goals up for PSG, 27 minutes into the match at Villa Park. Only 2 matches lost this season at Villa Park for Aston
my
Villa,
God.
and it looks like it's about to be 3. My goodness, this is going to be shambolic, I feel.
I think that's it for Aston Villa.
Should we turn it off?
Have to.
No, I'm joking. But let's rewatch this as Nuno Mendes scores not once, but twice against Villa in these 2 matches so far. I mean, left open at the top of the area. What more do you want?
Chance here for Barcelona.
Oh, this is a goal for Barcelona, definitely.
Is that it? No.
Oh my God!
Jesus, what happened?
Fermin!
Just
He
quick.
does
Oh, it was
that.
offside. It was offside anyways.
Oh, sometimes Fermin does that, though. I need him to just finish those first confidence. Sorry, can we just go back to Nuno Mendes, though, and just the
Oh,
fact...
but look there, though. Come on.
It was offside, though, either
I
way.
know, but nah, the pass could have gone to Lamine Yamal and he would have been off. He gave it to the guy who was offside.
Yeah, Lamine was completely open there. Well, Barcelona coming into maybe their own a little bit here. Sorry, we need to go back to that Nuno Mendes. Alex, he was left completely open at the top of the area with all day to shoot that.
Shocking.
I mean, Aston Villa...
Villa have been disappointing from the get-go tonight, and you would have thought they'd come into this game at home in front of their own fans, buoyant, motivated. They've been far short of what they needed to produce to even get a result tonight, let alone win the tie and qualify for the semi-finals. It almost feels like, and I'm not going to accuse them of lack of effort, but it feels like there's so much more to give. PSG, you've got to give credit to them, are defending fantastically and taking their chances, but we know there's a lot more that this Aston Villa side can produce. We just haven't seen it at all.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Aston Villa and the brilliance that they've had in the Premier League and in some of the Champions League matches up until, this point. But as much as you can say it's Aston Villa, I think you have to give the credit to PSG. They're not allowing them any time on the ball. They're not allowing to make any decisions. PSG are pressing from all angles on this pitch, and they're controlling this game completely. Like, you can say what you want about Aston Villa being bad, but I think they're bad because PSG are making them bad. This PSG team
They've been defending fantastically, and they've stopped Aston Villa at every angle, and everything that Aston Villa have offered going forward has been thwarted by this PSG defence, and you've got to give them credit for that. They've been the best team over both legs so far, and I think this is all but their position confirmed in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Did Rafinha just get a yellow card?
No, I don't know if it was a yellow. I think it was a foul, but there's a free kick now opportunity for Dortmund just on the outside of the area. Rafinha trying to go for the ball there, but didn't get any, and fair enough. Let's see if Dortmund can make something out of this. We are about 30 minutes into both of these matches, which is a great time to check in with Lucrezia because PSG are dominating, and we have to hear what everyone thinks about it.
Yeah, you know what's fun? That marking day, right before PSG scored, he said Aston Villa to score the next goal. Good bet.
Oh,
but
Wait, but did
unfortunately
he hear
not.
me
I
when I
don't
was
think it's...
mentioning 2 goals from PSG, though?
apparently
No
not,
idea.
because he wouldn't have said it.
I guess not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't see it happening for Aston Villa tonight.
That's an offside.
Poor guys. They just... Yeah.
There's a
No.
free kick taken from Dortmund, header, offside position right to Szczesny anyways, and still 1-0 to Dortmund. Sorry, Lucrezia, let's continue.
You know, I was saying I don't think Aston Villa can do something tonight. Our poll with asking, will Aston Villa turn things around, had a 55% of people saying no, 44% saying yes. So they're pretty undecisive, but some I guess still believe Aston Villa can turn things around, but it's very hard, especially now after 2 goals. PSG.
Yeah. 5-1 on aggregate. I mean, you got to
Yeah,
score
no,
4
that's a
goals
lot.
without conceding just to
In
get into
60 minutes.
extra time. Yeah.
They should
And
score like a goal every 10.
Come on, Rafinha. Put it on the breakaway. Look at Lamine. Look at Lamine. Look at Lamine.
Oh,
look
no,
at
he
Lamine.
missed
Ah! No, it's okay. We can...
missed it.
No, Rafinha.
Clinton, in how many minutes did you say the stadium would be half empty after the 2-0?
Oh, chance for
30
Barcelona.
minutes.
Wow, get up. Sorry.
In 30 minutes, man.
Did you say 30 minutes, Sara?
Can confirm he didn't.
How many minutes?
Sorry, I'm going to play fair in this one. I'm going to play fair.
How many minutes did he say?
Yeah, sorry, you're going through it. You're going
wait,
through
I know.
a lot of
Wait,
emotions.
sorry, did you guys say minutes? I thought you just said after 2 goals.
No, I'm pretty sure Clinton set a time frame after the second goal.
I don't
No, I
remember. I
said-
actually...
I said in
Yeah,
half an
you
hour.
did.
All right, Lucrezia, then you be the one here because I don't remember.
I don't remember, but I mean I don't remember
Good. We
how
are
long after.
great.
But I did set many. It did seem, and after a sort of amount of minutes, I don't remember though.
Yeah, but...
All right, for all of you watching at home, hold us accountable because none of us can seem to remember.
So if by 60 minutes this stadium is more than 50% full, you give me 15 euros.
100%.
Okay, so that means we got to get through the next 15 or so minutes
Oh.
with that extra time.
Marking
we got to go.
that. Sorry,
ahead,
he's saying
Lucrezia.
that Clinton said 2 goals before halftime. I don't know if that's what you said.
No,
I don't
Clinton
remember,
said
but
half
Probably.
an hour after. This is what he says. He said. I don't believe it.
That's what
Okay.
he said.
Clinton said.
Take a
that-
shot, take a shot! Oof! Sorry, guys, I got excited. Barcelona, it's Rafinha who's looking hungry in this game. Chance for Barcelona, but Kobel does well to read it there. What? 60 minutes?
Markinde saying he said 2 goals before half time.
That's Mackie.
Oh my God!
What?
yes,
Aston Villa scored!
Wow.
Tielemans gets on the board, 2-1 at Villa Park here.
There's-
Only 3 goals left until extra time without PSG scoring.
That's not.
Oh no, I still don't. It's not going to happen.
Nah.
And I will put my hands up if it does. But this PSG
Does that
team
mean
is
our
just
bet
too
is
good.
now void?
Yeah, I mean, he's void now.
No, somebody has to win. I enjoyed
He's
this.
void now.
You should give me 15 euros because it's still more than 50% full. Pretty sure you said 30 seconds after.
No.
Guys, take a look at
come
this. Take a look at this Yuri
on.
Tielemans goal here. Breaking through the defense. It looks like a miscommunication. Oh, wait, what? Looking like there was a... Oh,
no.
It's coming off Pacho into the net.
That is unlucky.
That is very unlucky, but Aston Villa will take it. Pacho tries to chest it out of the area, and
But hang on, why Telemann so happy though? What's his motive?
because they scored.
Bruh,
and
this
you
kind
got
of-
it. You got it.
This point you
You
score,
know why?
you take the ball
No,
straight to the middle.
but
to
you
take
know
it.
why? Yes. But also, I don't know if you guys saw a few moments ago when it was 2-0, that Villa Park looked absolutely silent and the fans were super still. And the PSG section, the fans were
They were
rowdy.
chanting, yeah?
They were yelling. So I think he's also trying to get the fans behind him. You know, you got to give them something to fight for and cheer you guys on as well. So I think he's trying
fair
to
enough.
hype the crowd up.
Ooh, what? Ah! If that went through to Gracie, Jesus.
Ooh. Possible penalty shout for Aston Villa here?
Let's take a look. John McGinn on the
I don't
ground.
think
Achraf
it is a penalty.
Hakimi on the ground.
I think John McGinn has his hand around Hakimi's leg, so I don't think it is.
These
It
jerseys
goes
from
to VAR.
PSG with the wings, I will say.
I think this is more than just it's just the coming together. I don't
Yeah,
think it's a
it's not
penalty.
much here. It's not, but you know, Villa are going to try and go for everything as they have to.
I don't think that's a penalty.
No. What do you guys think
Although
of these PSG
the
jerseys?
lash out afterwards. Watch this. Watch this.
I can't see there's a net.
The kick.
Oh.
That, to be honest, red card and a penalty if it is,
Oh.
because he tries to kick him there. I know. He
Oh, yeah,
backed on him.
yep.
But
There
Chaos
will-
controversy!
That's a red card and a penalty.
They will be, yeah, definitely. They will be checking that one. They will be checking that.
I think that's it has to be a red card and a penalty. You can't lash out like that. Even if he doesn't connect, it's the intention.
Yeah.
Guys, let us know if you think that Achraf Hakimi should be sent off for
Nah, but that was. But that
this
was,
aggression
that was,
towards John McGinn. I'd like to
that's
see it
Raz.
again, if I'm honest.
That's
Here we
Raz.
go.
Watch that.
The coming together is
that?
fine, but it's this
Watch that.
where he comes up with his right leg. You can see he's trying to.
Come on, man. Nah. That's bad behavior, man.
Marking Day said if PSG go 2 goals up, 5 minutes after the second goal, the stadium will be half empty, and he's gone back in the YouTube live stream. So Clinton, I think
Wow.
That's
you
just-
owe me 15 euros, fair and square.
That,
Hey, Alex, making up that difference.
don't- No, wait, hang on. You don't listen to one guy from our comment section who is the leader of our YouTube associates of Sporty TV.
So you're saying
So
Martin
you don't
Day- you're
believe?
calling
Why
him
you
a
believing?
liar.
No, but you're calling me a liar.
I'm not calling you a liar. You're calling him a liar.
No, but he's calling us. Well, he's calling me a liar.
No, he's not.
No, he is.
He's
saying what I've not
He's
said.
gone back in the YouTube and he's watched it. And he said that you said 5 minutes after the second goal went in.
Nah, that's not what I said. That I said in 60 minutes, man.
No.
No.
If someone else can corroborate what Marking Day has
These
just
guys are
said,
supposed to be enjoying this game, though. You want them to be going back in time.
you're just trying to avoid
No,
paying me
it's
15 euros.
No, it's never about that.
If
But
you guys want to see KlintonCod pay me 15 euros, go back and watch and
No,
listen to what
I
he
said-
and put it in the comments.
I said in 60 by.
You said 5 minutes after the second goal.
No,
which-
but everybody knows that's impossible, though.
But if that is true, my friend, you owe me 15 euros.
That would have been a miss tongues. That's a miss. You know when you say that's a slip of the tongue. It's not real. Man.
You said
A
it.
slip
That's
of
not
the
me.
tongue. I just want to update all of you that are sticking with us here that there was no card given to Achraf Hakimi. All that was given there was a free kick chance for Aston Villa. So no card, no red, no yellow.
Yeah, but then again, that was a very bad behavior from Hakimi.
Absolutely.
I think that was a mistake.
Oh, Dortmund! Oh, I don't like this Sam, man.
Kareem.
No,
Just
sorry.
Sam, keep calling him Sam.
Karim is very annoying, man. Bro!
Like you know him. Dortmund putting the pressure on here, but Barcelona, I mean, I will give a lot of credit to Jules Koundé. He's been working
Okay, look
hard
at Karim
here.
again. Just look at Karim.
Oh, get up. Come on.
Okay, I think even if they don't win, yeah, or even if they don't go through, I think the fans will kind of pardon them for this performance. So,
Pardon them?
Rafinha, okay.
Yeah, long day. What are we doing? I mean, like I said, I think with Dortmund that they know this is kind of their last chance with anything this season. They're out of the Bundesliga. They're out of the DFB Pokal. This is it. This is it for them.
It almost, for them, Champions League, when you get to these sort of situations, as much as the Europa League or the Conference League is a trophy that you would want to win if you're in it. But if I was Dortmund, I'd rather be in the Champions League or not be in any of those European competitions. So you can just solely focus on getting back in the Champions League next season and the Bundesliga and have all of that and nothing else to concentrate on. Although it would be a shame not to have a side like Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League next season.
What was the last time Borussia Dortmund wasn't in the Champions League? Let's find out.
Good question. I want to say it's been a while.
I think it's been a very long time because when was the last time they finished outside the top four? Oui. Did you guys see the conference with, sorry, Rafinha on the ball. They're doing well to cover him. The chat they had with Wojciech Szczesny ahead of this game regarding the potential for Barcelona to win the treble and go for 3 trophies, and he said 4 because of the Spanish Super Cup.
Yeah.
And then he called out the journalist because he said, wait, you were actually partying in Saudi Arabia. I remember you celebrating. And he said, you might, because he said, it's not important. He said, but you were celebrating it. Wojciech Szczesny is an absolute terror.
I love him.
He's so funny. Brilliant guy.
No, you just know that he's the kind of guy that, you know, you guys could just chill and you're having the best time ever. My man he looks funny, he acts funny, he speaks funny, like he's
a gent as well.
Yeah.
He's a very nice
Inter
guy.
Toto Cup.
By the way, I've sent you the money you won.
You have?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Prove it.
Yeah,
well done.
I did.
Check it. So they were in the Europa League in 2010, 2011, and I'm pretty sure that would have been the last time. No, 2015, 2016.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. Is this because you know how you used to get knocked? No, 2015, 2016, they were in it. They got knocked into it a few years back, but that would have been the last time that we saw Borussia Dortmund not make the Champions League officially. So not that long ago, 10 years?
No.
9 years, rather. So
Barcelona have
Taking a yellow card now from.
This is in their last 8 games against German opposition. Barca have won 3 and lost 5. The 3 wins coming in their last 3, obviously.
there you
against
go.
Dortmund last week. Dortmund back in January or December?
December. 3-2 at Signal
And then
Iduna.
Bayern Munich, of course, back in, that was November, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4-1. Hey, got the German man at the realm. Something's changed, I guess.
Yellow card for John McGinn.
Well, we are inching into halftime here, about 5 minutes of regular time in both matches. Lucrezia, did anyone respond about Achraf Hakimi's potential card that may or may not have should have been given? Maybe not.
Honestly, Sarah, no, I think everyone was just very invested in the Clinton matter. Everyone went back checking.
Oh,
so
well,
yeah.
please read the receipts.
Yeah, we have quite a few comments, confirming that Clinton, you said if PSG scores 2 goals, the stadium will be half empty 5 minutes after that second goal. So
But do they know that we'll
should be
settle
empty
that
now.
one
Yeah, Clinton's been fair and he's paid me the money. I haven't confirmed that because I don't have my mobile phone on me at the moment, but I will
Jesus
confirm
Christ,
that.
man. No, but the deal is done. Now, the reason I'm actually keeping up to it because, Alex has always kept on to his one as well. So,
I have.
Yeah, I definitely did say 5 minutes after.
You did.
You knew all along.
No, I
didn't
did,
you?
I did. To be honest, I had done the bet when I was like, wait, hang on. What kind of stupid 5 minutes?
I should have said 100 euros.
5 minutes? How? Now, if you had said 100, I would have been
Yeah.
like, right, we need to wait till the 80, 90 minutes.
Alex, try to get something more out of him next time.
Yeah, I should have done.
Well, you've almost broken even from last week.
Yeah,
5
so
euros.
I lost 30 euros last week.
30?
So far,
Yeah, because I had the 20 euro bet, which was for the.
No, I thought you had 310 euro. Did
No,
you
I
have-
had a 120 and a 10.
and one another 10.
Oh my gosh.
can't remember
you
what the first-
crazy
So now
guys.
he's taking 15.
Clinton just
What was the
losing
first
money.
bet for? I can't remember the,
Can't remember
the
either.
20 bet.
Arsenal, Real Madrid.
Was it Arsenal to win or.
No, because you lost.
No,
I
I was
think-
like, did Clinton bet on Arsenal to win?
I can't remember.
I don't think he
can't
would have,
remember.
but it was that game.
Oh, no. I think it was. I said.
Oh no. Oh, here we go.
I said after I literally, as Declan Rice lined up over his second free kick.
Oh, yeah.
If he scores again, I'll give you 20 euros.
Honestly, though, fair enough. We all had entertainment, so like. Excuse
my
me.
God, what was that?
And then on Saturday, it was
How is that a foul for
Barcelona.
Dortmund?
I can't remember the Saturday.
Can't remember that one either, man.
Can we just rewatch what's happening here?
I think that's a penalty.
Sorry, you have your hands around Lewandowski in the area. He's trying to get away from you,
Sorry,
and that's a
what?
call for, regardless if it's a penalty or not, how is that a call for Dortmund? That seems a bit long.
Offside. Isn't that off?
Let him run into the abyss at this point.
Shouldn't be.
That's ticked me off. Wow, way to get back Ronald Araujo, captain's band on.
That looked off though. Let's see again.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
off.
it was off.
They're always off against Barcelona.
No, of course. I mean, they're very good at whatever it is they do.
That high line.
The Juju.
And in all honesty, I think he even if he wasn't offside, he ran with the ball too. Like, fam, you got like 2 players on the other side. Like, just cross it already. Why are you waiting for a defender to come get the ball away from you?
No one in the box to cross it to.
No, they were actually 2 guys running. No, I mean they were not in the box, but at
Yeah.
least it was just 2 of them running from that channel.
Oh,
Wait, what was that?
it's coming for you, Clinton.
Oh
Dortmund
my
with the
God.
corner
I mean,
there.
they get
Going to
another
be
corner.
another corner for Dortmund, though, but it seems like there's a Barcelona player on the ground. Kubarsi, don't love that. This game is screaming for a Pedri, and Dani Olmo back on the bench for La Blaugrana after being out for a couple weeks. And Alex, I think he'd be a good sub for Barca here, obviously knowing German football really well, and knowing the opposition really well, and also the fact that we know that he can score a lot of goals.
Would they want to risk him though? Is it also that element of
Definitely not, but if
we can leave him on the bench and give him that extra couple of days just to get back to full fitness? It would have, I think, similar to perhaps a situation I think Real Madrid had a couple of weeks ago with I think it was Mbappe or Vinny. I can't
What
remember.
was that?
Aw,
Who was that?
Lamine.
Was that Lamine?
he didn't realize he was right there. Lamine bad touch.
No way. It's
Nope. Lamine bailed out with a bad touch there. Karim Adeyemi taking a shot, but it does go wide. By the way, Villa and PSG halftime officially, and it is 2-1 to PSG at Villa Park. A few minutes left here at Signal Iduna. The thing is with Dani Olmo, if he's on the bench, he has to be fit enough to play. And I also think if you play Dani Olmo, you're going to give some other players some rest, because at this point for Barcelona, every game matters. It doesn't matter if you're playing Celta over the weekend and Celta are mid-table, you need to win every game. So if someone's playing, someone's resting. I think it's the load management here that we keep talking about so much as the season winds down. But we'll see. This game is screaming for Pedri, though, so I do hope to see him in the second half, because I think as much as Barcelona don't need to win this game, they don't need to win at all.
No,
I
definitely.
think there's something in Hansi Flick that has... Hold on, Lamine has the ball, so I'll just wait a moment. I think there's something that has given this team... Oh, that's not a corner? Interesting. You know, some sort of rejuvenation in that. It doesn't matter if they're up 3-4-0, they keep fighting. And I think the fact that they're unbeaten also, gives a little fire to them. Of course, they'd rather win the league, a treble, whatever, instead of, going all these games undefeated. But I think that does play on their mind. And Hansi Flick is going to say, hey, you're losing right now. And you're not playing too well. Like, you're not playing bad, but they're not, you know, they're not dominating the game like we know Barcelona to be. Of course, Dortmund have a lot more to fight for here. So I think that Hansi Flick will have a bit of a chat with them.
If Dortmund get a goal before half time,
Gavi defending, that's a long day.
Defender,
Gosh.
Nice defending.
Yeah. Gavi would die.
I think the biggest problem with Dortmund is, especially when they're approaching that
The final third.
Yeah, like why are you holding the ball that long though? Like just get it in. Get it in. Like these guys, they underestimate the power of getting balls into the team. Like for me, because two things could happen. Or actually, let me say three things could happen, Sarah. One of them is the defenders will clear the ball out. Secondly, your defender, you could push them into giving some kind of own goal. The third one, it could be that your players are actually scoring. So why don't you just try it?
Yeah. Well, one last chance maybe for Barcelona here. About 30 seconds left of extra time. 1-0 to Dortmund at Signal Iduna Park.
I think we've got to give kudos to Dortmund, though. I'm kind of like really impressed with how much they've taken on this game in this first half.
it's just that
so
final
far.
third, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's where they've had issues. I
You've
think
got to give credit as well to Barcelona. They defended well.
No, absolutely. But
It's
then
1-0,
again,
and that 1-0 came from a penalty. It
No, of
wasn't
course.
even,
Of
you know,
course.
like
Wasn't for the
a...
penalty, Dortmund wouldn't have come close to scoring, or they haven't come close to the score.
I mean, in all honesty, I think they have. They have come close in a
They
couple
did
of
score,
times to
obviously,
score
an
it.
offside goal, but I just think it is you hit the nail on the head. So I don't want to flog a dead horse, but
Unless with this English says.
sorry. Is
The
that
thought
a very-
process of like where to go instead of
Is that a very British
Alex,
phrase? Sorry.
man,
flog a dead horse. Sorry, I don't want to flog a dead
Right now,
horse.
it's flogging horses, man. Alex, what are you
Flogging
into, man?
horses.
What kind of kinky stuff are you into, bruv?
What?
No,
Flog
sorry.
a dead horse.
But why would
Flog
you
a
be
dead
flogging a
horse.
dead horse?
But that's the point. You don't want to because it's already dead.
Wow.
That's the phrase. You don't
but-
want to. You don't want to over accentuate.
No, but honestly, but I'll flog a dead horse though. Just no, because sometimes you know people, you know these mental health people, they do it to kind of like relieve
Yeah,
themselves.
but not a dead horse.
But no, it's just hitting it. Okay,
There
right,
are
not being physical.
rooms for that.
Yeah,
you
no,
can go
but-
in and you
yeah.
can smash stuff up.
No, but
Not flogging a dead horse.
By the way, what you just said, though, is somewhere I need to try as well, because I've heard this stuff where you go into somewhere.
Well, I can't remember what
and
they
you
call
just
those
destroy stuff.
Anger root or
I don't know. Sarah, have you been
where you go in and you smash things up.
I mean, have you been to one of them anger places where you have to just start smashing stuff and it's all allowed?
No, I've seen them though.
I
Like
don't know
where
what
you
they're
just
called, but where you just
rage room,
there's
Yeah.
something like that.
like
yeah.
something. Yeah.
You just go in and smash everything.
I mean, I don't
So
think
I
I've.
reckon you'd enjoy that.
I mean, I would enjoy. I'm not a violent person in terms of when I get angry. You know, I'm not that kind of. But I would just love to, for the sake of just going to destroy stuff. I would love to.
All right. Well, let's take a.
But do they have TVs there though?
Yeah, TV.
Yeah,
You can destroy TVs.
Washing machines, dishwashers,
Play a game of
microwaves,
FIFA, lose, then destroy the TV.
glass tables. Yeah.
All right, well, let's quickly just jump to tomorrow. We have the massive match here. It's Bayern Munich and Inter Milan, as well as Arsenal and Real Madrid. Take a look at this.
From desire. Innocence is purified, free from desire. Innocence is purified, free from desire.
All right, Lucrezia, well, we are at halftime here, but we do have another big match. Let's just check in with social media on what they think of the first halves of both of these two matches.
Can you guys hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, so there's a lot of people trying to push Barca because, as you said, they don't really need to win, but I guess their fans still want them to win to perform well. So they're trying to, say Forza Barca. And then someone, Ajara Umar, is saying, can you please tell Clinton that there will be no remontada tomorrow? And as a Barca fan, we are friends with Arsenal.
Oh.
Clinton, they just, no remontada tomorrow, apparently, here. Everyone believes Arsenal got,
I mean,
it's,
in all honesty,
can
I'm
just
part
get
of those
away
people.
with that.
Can't even lie. I can't sit here with
Is that
any
you
kind
admitting defeat already?
Of course I am.
I think
Already?
If I
No, Clinton.
no, but I don't like deceiving myself. Like that's the truth. You know, this is not. They're not playing against Aston Villa. They're not playing against some random
True.
Dortmund or whatever.
But you
They're
never
playing
know,
against
believe.
an Arsenal.
No.
Like I'm telling you, there is not even if you have 14 Real Madrid players on the pitch, they will still not do any remontada. Maybe we
Wow.
might see
45
rain.
minutes ago, you were like,
Where's the
remontada,
faith?
remontada. What
Come
happened?
on.
Nah, I'm not that kind of guy, man.
All right, well, Shantelle, you're
it happens, I
joining
scream.
us again. How are you enjoying the first half of these two? I feel like I know what your answer might be, considering the score of one of these games. But talk to me.
Honestly, I want to say that Dortmund, I'm kind of shocked by their performance, but in a good way. But Aston Villa, oh my God. Now, everybody should know, because like I made it clear that I am standing 10 toes behind them because I believe in them. I know what they're capable of. And I want to say that they haven't been playing bad so far. And I believe in the second half, we should see more goals coming from them. But PSG, man, oh my God. Those 2 goals that came, they were good goals. I mean, I wasn't expecting them so early. Sorry you lost that bet, Clinton, but...
I mean, that was a very crazy one to have thought about. To be honest.
No,
And Alex knows so much
honestly.
than me. Alex knows that was an easy cash for him because 5 minutes after you scored 5 goals, at least it takes about 15 minutes to walk out the stadium in the first place. So who does that?
No, that was a crazy bet. But I want to say that I'm quite pleased with the first half so far. I mean, obviously I would be over the moon had I seen probably maybe 4 goals
for Villa.
from Villa, and that's not the case. But it's
No, I'm quite happy PSG went 2-0 up because I've won 15 euros from Clinton.
Hey,
fair.
take the wins
To be
where
honest,
you
that's
can
how I was
get the
feeling when I was
wins.
taking his money as well.
I mean, looking at PSG, guys, we've seen they've had 322 passes complete with a 93% passing accuracy versus 141 passes from Villa. Alex, like almost, more than doubled in this. And we have to look at that midfield that Eustace was speaking about because we talk so much about the front 3 at PSG. We talk about, the likes of Nuno Mendes. We talk about Marquinhos, maybe not. But that midfield of Vitinha, João Neves, and Fabian Ruiz is, one of the best midfields in football right now. I argue that Vitinha right now is like one of the top 10 best footballers in the world. He's unbelievable. I think he's flying under some people's radar. Meanwhile, João Neves could be the next golden boy in football. And Fabian Ruiz has so much experience, and the 3 of them are just unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think a little stat that I found.
Is it about Xavi?
No, it's that similar one. It's about Vitinha. So he made 148 passes last week against Aston Villa at the Parc des Princes. That is the most by any PSG player ever in a Champions League game, and second only in a Champions League game to Xavi, who made 161, I think it was.
161.
To make that number of passes in a game, yes, you could say he's passing it backwards or sideways, but he's not. He's passing it forward. He's finding those angles. The way he controls the midfield is really impressive. And as a player, I don't think he gets talked about enough. I don't think he gets enough praise as he deserves. And I think when you look at how well he does it, how effortless he is when he's on the ball, it's a joy to watch. And the same can be said with this PSG team, all of them. You look at Desiree Doué. He's one of the most exciting players in the world at the moment. Doesn't get talked about enough. You look at Bradley Barcola, Ousmane Dembele, who's having one of the best seasons of his career. The players in that squad, in terms of excitement, they're really exciting to watch, and they're going forward, defending. There's so much talent in that PSG squad, and the job that Luis Enrique does there and has done. I'm going to say something a little bit bold.
Hold on to your pants, guys.
If PSG win the Champions League, I mean, this may be not as bold as I think it is, but I think he deserves to be Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
If PSG wins the Champions League, of course, definitely.
I mean, it will be up there depending on what Hansi Flick. I think if Hansi Flick wins the treble or the quadruple or anything like that, I think maybe that pips it. But
I'm still going for Nuno Espirito Santos.
Yeah.
Forest all day, baby.
I mean, I think, of course, there's an argument to that one. But what would he have done for Nottingham Forest to help them play European football? Now, is that big?
It's not going to be compared to what these guys are
Well,
doing.
exactly,
I already know. I know how it goes. But I think they're such a shout. You got to also look at Simone Inzaghi and what he's doing with Inter. But Luis Enrique, Alex, let's play on that a little bit. If he wins he has a chance to win the treble with PSG. Let's say he wins it. It's his second treble. Done so once with Barcelona, now he's done it with PSG. And what's more impressive than maybe PSG winning the treble is PSG winning a Champions League and also playing the most convincing football we've probably seen in our lifetime of PSG. Where, if that happens theoretically, where does that rank Luis Enrique in terms of all-time managers? Because his name's got to be thrown into it if he's able to do it with these teams. I mean, we obviously know he's one of the best managers maybe in this generation, but all time, I think he's obviously a step below some of these Peps and Ancelottis and Mourinho's and whatnot. But if he does it with PSG after already doing it with the Barcelona and 10 years later, no less, where do you rank him?
He's got to be up there. I mean, you talk about what he's won the treble with Barcelona. It's been, I think, something that I think he gets overlooked quite a lot, perhaps because of the job that he did with Spain.
Oh, yep.
And
Russia.
I think that might be an asterisk or a stain against his record. But when you look at the job he's done at Barcelona, at PSG, yes, he's yet to win the Champions League. I think if they get knocked out in the semi-finals, it doesn't quite bring him to the level of one of the. He is a top coach, but I think he has to win the Champions League to be considered an elite coach.
Sure.
I think I think this has been the big thing for PSG over the last decade, even more. He's cracked that age-old code of PSG have had so many individuals, so many stars, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Neymar, the best players in the world, and they haven't won for them and on the European stage a meaningful trophy. Yes, they've won Ligue 1, and I'm sorry to say it, but for them, that's not a meaningful trophy. Yes, they win the title every year. It's been, 2013 when Montpellier won the title. Since then, I think there's been, is it Lille who won it in 2021, I think? But other than those teams, it's been PSG every year. And to win, like Clinton would say, and joke, not being serious, I don't think this is the case, but you almost joke about PSG could win the league without a manager. It's to that point. But for him to win the Champions League, considering the level of competition they play week in, week out in the French league, to compete with the best teams in Europe, to beat a side like Aston Villa who have competed with the best in the Premier League, to beat a side like Liverpool who, up until that tie, we considered to be alongside Barcelona as the best team in the world. It's a magnificent job that he's done, and he has to be given a lot of credit for the job that he's done to bring that PSG side into a cohesive unit and get them playing together as a team without any big superstars. Yes, there are magnificent players in there, but there aren't any superstars, I don't think.
I wanted to ask you this because we were speaking about this with one of our producers and Clinton, because PSG are unbeaten in Ligue 1. They've won Ligue 1. Now, there's a few more games for them to finish.
Sorry, is it possible to say French League 1? When I hear you say League
1,
I know.
But I would say that to my friends at home. I'd say Liga.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I would say Liga.
Liga.
Like, I wouldn't say League 1. I don't think I've ever said League 1.
Because if you say League 1, I think of the third two.
Well, I might as well go and say,
That's right.
the Liga.
I think of the
No. But
we don't say
for
the
me,
Liga.
what I've heard Nigerians or people from, I've heard people say
Am I
French
from Nigeria?
League 1, right?
They call it French League 1, like
Yes.
the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
So at least I know you're speaking about French League 1. Because if you say League 1, of course, Alex, it doesn't make sense. That's League 1, English football or whatever. But when I hear, when Sara says League 1, I'm like, wait. But wait, of course, I'm not saying you're not correct. That is what it's how it's meant to be said in France. But for somebody who's not used to, I just know French League 1, right? The Farmers League. Or even if you say Farmers League, I would even know more than League 1.
All right. Well, in French League 1, PSG have obviously won the French League 1. They have a few more games left in French League 1. But, Alex, they have won and also have gone undefeated so far. And I don't think that's something that is being spoken about at all right now. I think that's something that's really flown under the radar because people maybe aren't paying enough to French League One. I think the fact that they've already clinched the trophy has taken even less attention, has taken away, even more attention. But they might have an undefeated season winning this league. And they're also having a great Champions League run, regardless of what happens in the Champions League. I don't think we've ever seen, this impressive of a performance of PSG. And I mean, they're heading to the semifinals as it stands. But we were having a conversation because Clinton was saying it's not impressive if they go undefeated. And we were saying, regardless of what league you're in, if you go undefeated, it means something.
Yeah, and if you look at the last 5, 6 seasons, they've lost, I think, 2 games, 4 games, 7 games, 8 games, and 5 games in the league. This season, if they go unbeaten, no matter who it's against, it's impressive. It's not.
If they are going on, and I'll still maintain, if PSG they are going unbeaten in their league in France, right? There is nothing impressive there to me.
That is impressive.
I mean, that's your business, but for me, it's not impressive.
The level of
find it
competition
impressive
they're
either.
against is lower. It's not as impressive as, say, Liverpool going the whole season only losing a game.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
if Liverpool
it's
goes a
still-
season without losing it, to me, that's impressive because we pretty much understand how much the title race in England seems to be. We're not just speaking about 3 teams. Because when you bring it now to even the La Liga, right? There are like 3, 4 teams that are always competing for that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You come to England, we are speaking about like 8 teams who are literally competing for this stuff. You come to even what's it called? Germany. We are speaking even this season is even like more of a two horse race currently. It's literally Bayer Leverkusen, Bayern Munich, right?
Not flogging any of those horses.
Sorry, no, I'm not going to flog them. No, I'm not flogging them once, right? But you come to the French league. If you hear the word French league, what's the first thing that comes to your brain? It's literally PSG.
But you look at the other teams in that French league.
Yes.
Marseille haven't been at it this year. You've got Lille, who this season have beaten Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. You've got Lyon, who have been performing well in the Champions League, have drawn with Manchester United and could potentially be in the semi-finals of the Europa League. You look at the teams that are in that French league, yes, the quality isn't as high as, say, La Liga or Serie A or Bundesliga.
When was the last time
Okay,
you
but
watched
they're
a
not
game
good,
that's
why they're
not
not number
PSG
one
in
then?
French league?
That's not the point we're making.
Bro, no, I am telling you, there's a reason why. That's the whole point. There's a reason why.
I'm saying it may be not as impressive as a team in the Bundesliga or the Serie A or La Liga going unbeaten, but it's still impressive.
Nah, but listen, that's impressive to you. I'm not fighting you from you. But for me, I'm saying there's nothing special that PSG does in their league that's impressive to me. When it becomes impressive, you saw the way I was screaming when they beat Liverpool. When they even played Liverpool in their home, of course they lost the game. However, when we saw the way they played, I was very impressed. I've never been that impressed with the PSG. Like all the time they play. Listen, if there was no Champions League football, if there was no Euros, I'm telling you, Alex, you would not know what PSG is. It's only because they still get to compete in all these major competitions that you get to see other big teams play. That's the reason why you have something to speak about the PSG. But PSG in France, I'm telling you that no, every single time they play games, okay, forget about the other teams. How many times have you watched PSG play in their? Do you not sometimes do you not just feel like, what's the point of watching it? Why? Because we pretty much know what the result is going to be.
We're not talking about the quality of the league because there is a.
It is the quality of the league.
No,
man.
there is a. I'll admit it. There's a huge disparity between PSG and the rest of the teams in that league. It's obvious they have all the money in the world. They have the best players in the league, but to go unbeaten in a
Sorry,
league.
this game started already?
Both games have started, and you guys have been yelling. I'm just trying to watch. No subs have been made, ladies and gentlemen. 5 matches, and it's nothing. Big man, was
Oh my God, Dortmund, do it now, do it.
For Barcelona. We're about 3 minutes into the game at Signal Iduna and 5 minutes into the match at Villa Park. No subs made across
Oh
either
my!
of these.
Bring it back! Oh, these guys, they don't know how to play football. Jesus, why you? In fact, I don't want to speak again, man. Like, how do you cross the ball? Literally, no, wait, just watch this. Watch this, yeah? Just watch this. It comes out. Oh, they didn't show us now.
Corner for Dortmund.
Like, you've pretty much done the hard job. Why don't you just bring it into the... Why are you taking it there again? These guys are getting paid, for Christ's sake. Ha!
I'm a little surprised there aren't any subs made here, if I'm going to be brutally honest. Goal for
That's
Dortmund.
my squad! That's my squad!
Sergio
It-
Guirassy.
Woo! 2 goals! That's my squad, man! Yo!
I'm waiting
Wow.
for the Pedri.
Oh my God! Oh my God! This is looking so possible, you know?
Game on.
Woo-hoo!
I don't think so still. I'm not too stressed just yet.
I mean, I'll let you know when to start stressing. Don't worry.
No, I'll let you know because I know this team.
So this is like his 12th UCL goal?
This
Check
is 12
it.
and 14, I believe. 12 goals for
12.
Sergio
Yeah,
Guirassy.
12. This is like his 12th goal.
Did that come off Rafinha's head?
Amazing.
I think his hand, you know. Wait.
I know you
I think
guys.
it was his hand. Watch it.
Did you guys go over my booking
His
code?
hand. That would have been a
That's
penalty.
wild. No, it wouldn't have been. I mean, they scored it.
Yeah,
So it stands.
I'm saying as imagine.
Oh, if it didn't. Yeah, that was cheeky. I feel though sometimes when you're in like that position as a player, it's just like a natural.
know, yeah,
you're like, I'm
natural
not supposed to
instincts,
stop it. Rafinha maybe getting a little bit of a hand, but of course it went through for Sergio Guirassy. And was I not saying, guys, before that I think he had a bit of like a personal vendetta that he would have wanted to score in this one for Dortmund because of his record?
Yeah, you did
Champions
say that.
League?
You did say that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he's the only one doing anything for Dortmund, if
Definitely.
I'm honest. And the first one was a penalty, as we know. So this is, a true
Honestly,
goal from Guirassy, and well done to him.
If there's one person I'm not very impressed with this Dortmund, honestly, is Karim Adeyemi. I expect so much from him, and it's almost like he's not doing what I would expect from a fast winger, somebody who is as good as him. Like, oh.
All right, well, let's go to Lucrezia and get the reaction from everyone at home from Sergio Guirassy's goal. 2-0 for Dortmund against Barcelona.
Yeah, despite the goal, people don't think they can make a comeback just yet. They're saying Barca, there's a lot of quality that Hansi Flick probably spoke to the players during halftime. And then Akinde Joyo is saying, I don't think Dortmund can make a comeback against Barcelona. Because yes, Barcelona are lagging in the attack, but they still have some great players on the bench like Pedri, Olmo, Nigo, and others. So if those players come up, it's probably done for. If they come on the field, it's probably done for Dortmund. We'll see.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then Clinton, they say they love the show because you always argue. Sorry, Sara.
No, go.
Sorry?
Clinton, your energy is appreciated. They said people are saying that they love the show because you always end up arguing.
No, but I'm not arguing. It's just a debate. You know, the difference between debating and
Yeah,
arguing.
no, you're proving
But-
your points.
No, but what I was saying was fact though, and somebody's just made a comment. I know it's meant to be for you, Lucrezia, but
Go,
this
go.
person literally
Which
said,
one?
The Saudi league is more competitive than the French league.
Oh, than the
I
French league.
I totally agree. I would rather watch.
Sorry, I'm just saying Aston Villa have scored in this one. Guys, it's all kicking. John
Wow.
McGinn from the
John
outside of the
McGinn.
area.
Whoa,
If I've ever
what
seen a
a
toe punch in
goal.
my life.
What a
Just
goal!
hits it with his toe, hoping that something happens. My, oh my. When was the last time you saw a good toe
What
punch
a
in football?
goal!
Can I tell you guys a nice story about John McGinn?
Yeah.
Tell us.
So you know how, Clinton, you were amazed that Aston Villa were in the Championship just as short as 7 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
He was the captain when they played in the Championship. 7 years
Really?
ago. He's the captain.
Oh wow!
I'm pretty sure he was the captain. He was at least in that team in the Championship, and now he's the captain in the Champions League.
Incredible.
So from playing in the Championship to captaining your club in the Champions League is
No, I mean that's a very good story.
a nice story.
Well, it's now 2-2 at Villa Park thanks to John McGinn. The aggregate 5-3 now.
Oh no!
So let's see what that means for Villa. I was going to say, actually, guys, at the half, I was a bit surprised that we didn't see subs from maybe either sides here. I was expecting Pedri to be subbed almost immediately for Barcelona, but also Ollie Watkins, I thought was going to get like
Definitely.
pragmatic sub immediately for Unai Emery. And listen, I mean, it's working out in his favor so far, but I'm kind of expecting any moment now we will see Ollie Watkins get in there.
Hang on. So both teams just need 2 goals.
Yes.
Wow. How, as they say, how the turntables?
Now that means Real Madrid kind of
Chance
have
for Aston
got
Villa
hope
here,
tomorrow.
Marcus Rashford. Ooh!
Marcus,
What
wait,
a
don't tell me.
save,
Wait, was that a
Donnarumma.
save?
Go!
Oh,
yes,
Barcelona.
yes, yes, yes,
Barcelona
yes,
scores.
Fermin, you finally did it. Yes, yes, that's what he needs. I love to see this youngster score.
Nah, it's not happening.
Is that
Remontada.
Remontada.
No,
remontada.
guys, see, I told you not to stress. Actually, Lucrezia, you said everyone at home was feeling the same way I felt with this Barcelona
Offside.
side.
It might be offside, you know.
Oh, what?
It might be offside.
Is it offside? Sorry, Alex, why did you scream like that?
Sorry,
Wait.
I've had an apparition.
Oh my
What?
God, Alex, what?
I've had an apparition.
You're freaking me out.
Marcus Rashford cuts it back.
Oh,
It's a goal.
Go!
Aston Villa.
sorry, you saw the score somewhere. Oh, well, don't do that.
Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry.
Alex!
Come on,
Sorry.
Alex.
Oh my god.
Do you pretend
Wait,
that
is Aston Villa making a comeback here?
Wow. No.
Wow.
Aston Villa! No, I'm
Sorry.
actually ticked, Alex. I don't want.
Sorry.
Hate those friends.
Sorry.
You know your friends who. Sorry. Okay, give the. Sorry.
Sorry.
Aston Villa. Sorry, we were a little distracted. Aston Villa have scored again. Marcus Rashford, who I was just saying that Ollie Watkins should be on. I
What
hold
a
my
move.
hands up in this one.
Defense all
No
over the
way.
place. Look at this defense.
Now, you
Tears
see
them apart.
exactly what Marcus Rashford just did? That was exactly what I was expecting from.
Man,
Wow.
Donnarumma, this is what I'm talking about. This is not the kind of goalie. Oh my goodness
Wow.
gracious.
Oh, my God.
Oh no, it's not a goal for Fermin because it technically came off Ben
Wow.
Sebaini.
I told you.
That's unfortunate for the youngster, but 2-1 at Signal Iduna. But sorry, let's go back to Villa Park because my oh my, is something happening here? Is it happening, Alex? Chantal screaming in the
I think
control
it
room.
might be.
Lucrezia, let's cut to you. With that goal from Marcus Rashford, is the remontada on for Aston Villa? What do the people
I
say?
think so. Yeah, people were saying Villa might just come back here. I mean, they only need one more goal. No.
No, for real, you know.
One more goal.
That
and it's
is
level.
amazing.
Oh, my God.
Oh
this
no,
is-
no, come on,
but-
let's go. I'm down. I'm kind of down for the journey now.
Wow.
I'm kind of down for the journey.
But we also have
Imagine.
someone else saying that this might be the final score. Aston Villa, PSG 2-2.
Nah, definitely not.
But I don't know. There's still time. I think.
There's still a lot of
No,
time.
The
there's a
rhythm that,
whole-
like,
there's a
Aston
whole game.
Villa-
There's a whole couple games.
Yeah. No, this is amazing. See? It's also, I just want to say, I love watching Champions League when my team is not in there. Because I can just watch it freely.
yeah.
I'm not
We
stressed. I can just
get it.
appreciate
Yeah,
the
but I feel-
football.
No pressure for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. No.
No, it's out.
Oh, my
It's
God.
out. Oh my God, there was another chance.
Don't do that to me, Clinton.
No. If what?
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my
Damn.
word.
Oh,
a
thank
save.
goodness
Oh, that was a
gracious.
save, though.
Pedri is coming into the match for Barcelona. We have been waiting for this one. Oh my good. No, this is what oh, Donnarumma gives me a lot of anxiety to watch as a keeper. I think some of the decision making he just doesn't have. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, he's
my
fuming.
God.
Look at Donnarumma absolutely screaming at his
Nah,
defenders
but
who are
PSG.
doing nothing. No,
Nah,
but the way
wait.
that switch flicked, I mean,
Nah, but imagine PSG not going through, though.
I don't want peace, I want problems.
Hey!
Well, Barcelona
Wow.
has to be woken up a little bit. I feel the defenders at PSG have completely just been shook here. It looks like the 2 goals just shocked this whole team. Luis Enrique looks distraught. There's no communication happening right now. I mean, Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game on our hands here. 3-2 to Villa at Villa Park. 5-4 to PSG on aggregate. 1 goal separates this game from going into extra time. And there's about 30 minutes left of football here. We shall see.
Should we get
Alex,
some,
are you praying to the... Yeah.
I was just about to.
Desiree Doué in for Bradley Barcola. Just a quick update there for PSG. Yeah, update on the odds. Let's see.
So, if you want, or if you think Aston Villa are going to qualify, and you want to put a bet on them qualifying, it's now 4.85 for Aston Villa to qualify for the semi-finals.
But hang on, before we go into this here, I was quite surprised and shocked that the goal that Barcelona has scored was given.
Why?
In all honesty, I thought that was offside, though.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I mean, the only reason I'm saying it is because somebody literally said exactly what. No, but I'm quite.
The first goal for Dortmund was, I mean, the tackle from Szczesny for Sergio Grassi's penalty was almost offside as well, but it wasn't.
I mean, it was almost. But,
Almost being the key word.
But it was all, yeah. So there you go. Gavi has been subbed off for Pedri.
Oh!
Wide of the net there. Bayer trying to get one back.
If Aston Villa come back and get through to the semi-finals, is this up there with one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history?
For a 3-1 though.
No, but considering they went 2-0 down.
Yeah, I know.
They were.
I know. Yes, no, but true though. I think that should get on it.
I think it gets the mention because of the fact that PSG then went on to score
Two more.
And
at that point, I pretty much felt like that was it's done. Like, say,
and also the way PSG were playing too. Like the first half, I don't think anyone can say that they were convinced by Dortmund. So I think it's just Villa, pardon me. I think it was more so just, oh, come on. Wow.
I mean.
Wow. No,
All in.
Sorry, I thought that ball was getting called out there for something. It looked really so dumb.
Oh, these Dortmund boys, man. Nah, these guys are not ready. Forget it. This is Barcelona. Go.
No, Pedri changing the momentum of this whole game.
Barcelona goal.
I think at this point,
that Barcelona goal killed it off. I don't.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Before that, if they were to get a third,
yes,
who knows?
Yeah.
But now, no chance. Barcelona might get another as well. Was that a penalty shout? Did he get blocked?
I don't know. That wouldn't be the first one though for Dortmund, if I'm honest. With that reach around from Lewandowski in the first half.
Suspect.
I mean, Ashraf Hakimi and that kick. Some questionable decisions being made by the rest, but when is there not at this point in the Champions League? Wow. Okay, 63 minutes in at Villa Park, 3-2 to Aston Villa. Guys, the scenes.
Someone said you're telling us things for free again, Clinton.
I mean, that's what I always do, right? I do it
Just
for
start
love.
charging people.
I do it for love.
Although, who would pay?
A lot of people actually do pay.
Let's not get into that. Please and thank you.
Now, actually, when you think about my career, though, as a stand-up for some time, people actually did pay to come hear me speak.
Yeah, and they pay to MC and all
Absolutely.
that. Absolutely.
This literally, you paid me to talk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did that for a long time, you know. So I feel like, you guys need to cut me.
Not anymore, though.
Slack, man. I mean, I still, sometimes, it's still part-time still.
You still dust off the microphone, get it out.
I think we're all in a bit of shock right now, gentlemen. Sorry for those of you watching at home. I think the back-to-back Villa goals not only shocked PSG, but they shocked us as well. What was the 2-minute difference from John McGinn's toe punt to Enrique? Can't look down at my computer. I'm starting to get stressed out, guys. Starting to feel like I need to take a walk. Goodness gracious. Champions League football, what it does. Looks like Dortmund's trying to make a few changes
Just
in
felt like
this
I saw Bellingham just getting ready for Dortmund.
That was, I know exactly. Yep.
You're a year and a half too late.
PSG on the break. Oh my goodness gracious, it was a good save. Ousmane Dembele trying to get one past Dibu, but he does well there. Oh my gosh. All right, Lucrezia, let's jump back to you and see what everyone's saying about Aston Villa. I'm so sure.
But is it just me, though? Why do I feel like Lamine has been quiet, though?
He has been. Sorry. We'll come back to Lamine. Lucrezia, let's check in with you, and then we'll jump back in.
Yeah, everyone seems to... Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. No, everyone seems to be very happy and excited for this Villa almost comeback. Alex Sugar is saying Aston Villa can qualify only if they can promise to beat Arsenal for me. Aside from that, PSG should qualify and lift the trophy. Then Blessing is saying if Villa win today, I'm very sure that they will play the final. They see them, Aston Villa, getting all the way to the final. I mean, from today's performance, you never know.
I mean,
and then they're also talking about the
Real Madrid or Arsenal.
I see them beating the Real Madrid, to be honest.
Do you think they beat Arsenal?
Arsenal will be very difficult. I would see more like a draw, extra time, tiredness. penalties.
Penalties, yeah.
But beating Real Madrid, Aston Villa, I see it happening. I'm sorry to Real Madrid.
Couple substitutions made though here. Oh my
Wow.
goodness gracious! Chance for Barcelona. Kovac was
Speaking,
does just
Sarah,
enough
speaking of
there.
Barcelona, someone
Yes.
said if the first goal of Borussia Dortmund didn't count, Barcelona goal shouldn't have counted since it was a similar situation. And there's a lot of people also saying that it was upside.
Didn't we just have this conversation?
Wait.
Both goals
Yeah,
were
you guys
almost
did.
offside, but they weren't, and they were
Now,
on.
but that one,
They're all
listen. I'm gonna tell you guys.
For free?
If you can go on social media, I'm telling you this one is not for free actually.
Whoa.
You have to subscribe to Sporty TV to get this one.
Okay, really
Now-
quickly. Sorry, I just want to let everyone know subs are being made. John McGinn is out for Marco Asensio, former PSG man, and Amadou Onana out for Jacob Ramsey, who, remember, scored that first goal at the Parc des Princes. Meanwhile, Dortmund making some subs. It's Giovanni Reina and Duranville that are coming on for looking like Bayer and Nemecha. So, subs being made all around the board. Clinton?
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that if we
You're
go on
going to
social
charge us to listen to.
No, I'm not charging you for this one. But if you go on social media, I'm sure you would see maybe quite a few people saying that was actually offside. It was just not seen.
Oh, yeah, we're social media. They're always right, aren't they? Good place to
no. The good thing is they would always have the picture of what they would have expected the refs to be looking, but that looked off. I thought it was just me, but the fact that someone is saying it. Okay, Karim Adeyemi.
Sam?
Okay, right. What happened there?
Not much.
He didn't score.
You see my problem again? Why are you
Wow.
going there? There was somebody, like, these guys are not ready, man. These guys are not ready. Like, this is why I feel like for you to make it professionally in football, it's not about how good you are, man. It's just luck sometimes. You just happen to be in the right place at the right. It's not because you're like sometimes. How do they make this kind of silly decisions on the pitch and you get paid like 100 grand a week? Like how? I don't get it, man.
It's not easy.
No, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense, man.
There's a corner here for Dortmund.
Wow! Oh,
My ears ringing.
I'm
Oh, man.
officially done with you. It's offside. You don't even know which way the ball's going, my friend. Norman had a corner for those of you that are watching, and there was connection
I
with
think
my
somebody
ears are
in the
ringing.
box. Oh my goodness gracious. Was that Aston Villa with the chance there?
Yep.
Ooh la la, it's heating up. Oh my goodness gracious.
Asensio. Imagine if Asensio scores the winning or
Storybooks.
equalising goal.
Storybooks, they're written about this on a cold night in Birmingham.
They say you couldn't write the script, but this is a script you could very well write, and it would sell quite well.
Whoa, that was. Did you see that?
Anywhere but at the keeper. You just put it.
He tried to put it through the legs of Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Oh, just make it easy. Unai Emery pulling off his face for that one. Like you just go for the goal. Don't be cute. Just go
Now,
for the goal.
if they don't, if this ends like this and PSG goes, I think Asensio should just turn off his phone, man, because this is
Turn
what
off
people
his phone.
remember.
I don't think he's
Honestly.
got it on at the moment.
Okay, well
got it
there
on,
is
it's just not
a
in.
free kick here for Aston Villa, so maybe they can make something out of it.
Marcus Rashford here. Across. Ooh.
Nah, but I see Aston Villa doing this, you know.
I reckon they can.
No, I feel like they're good.
Ooh. Wow. Blimey.
Nah, but you see, sometimes we got to actually give.
Ooh.
Oh my God,
That was close.
that was close.
That's two. Unai Emery is you
He's
right
losing.
now.
He's losing it
I kind of want Aston Villa to score to see Clinton's reaction because I reckon he might get up on the
My
desk.
God.
Nah, but for me, I think I
Because
want to
when
see. I
Arsenal
want
did
to
it,
see.
it was shocking, but he was upset.
I want to see more of Unai Emery's reaction when.
Oh, it might be the same as yours. I want to
should see
see you
the
like
whole
run
Villa
around
crowd.
this place.
The whole Villa Park crowd.
Oh my God, can you imagine the scenes in Birmingham if they win?
Birmingham,
Watch out,
there'll be
boys
a-
and girls, watch out.
There'll be a lot of people out on the town until
There's
the early
no
hours of the
sleeping.
morning.
There's no
But
sleeping.
Nah, these Dortmund guys, they're not ready, man. Like on it, like these guys are actually rubbish.
This, if it stays like
Bro, you are losing. You are passing to the back. How? Like coach, man. This guy needs flogging.
Nico Kovac. Ferran Torres and
flogging.
Eric
Bro,
Garcia
no,
getting
this
ready
guy's-
to come in for Barcelona.
Sorry, our producer, can you come swap these things around, man? We want to watch after Aston Villa. They're giving us the game. Barcelona is pretty much done. Come on, man. I'm sick of watching Dortmund play right now.
Lamine Yamal's going to score.
I've said the word flogging, and Clinton's used it about 3 times.
Nah, this is They should get out. Yeah, this is it. This is the real stuff. This is the RS. The
No.
No,
Don't
no,
say
no,
it.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
Don't say it.
yeah. Nah, but come on. What's this guy doing there though?
Garassi?
No, from Aston Villa.
Konza?
No, not. There was another player that I felt like.
You have to be a little bit more specific.
Sorry, can't tell this. Mine.
It's very open as well. PSG seem a little rattled by those 2 goals.
Yeah, no,
understandably
definitely.
so.
You could clearly see that is doing something mentally to them at
Because
this point.
before in the first half,
wow.
PSG were defending so well, and there was little to no space in that final third for Aston Villa. But they've had 2 or 3 good chances where they've been through on goal here. Is that Eric Garcia coming on for Barcelona?
Eric Garcia and El Tiburon, Ferran Torres on for Fermin Lopez and Lamine Yamal, which honestly,
Yep.
I'm okay with that because we got a big game against Celta over the
it's
weekend,
not
and
even
I need rest.
For me, it's never been about that. It's about the fact that Lamine Yamal has literally been very quiet.
That's fine as well, but let's rest these players because way too much at stake for some of these guys.
And I don't know, there's something though. This has been the last 2 games for Lamine where I feel like all.
Sorry, he's 17 and playing every 3 days.
Oh, Sara, come on, Sara. Like when he's doing
Clinton,
well, I know
you played once against Mendieta and picked up an injury doing a backflip.
Nah, yeah, that's
but
a
he's
backflip, not from
he's
playing.
not an athlete.
No, but
Nah,
the thing
well,
is,
exactly.
you can't.
But what I'm saying is, no.
You
What
can
I'm saying,
praise him,
what
we
I'm
can
saying.
criticize
Thank you. Because that's the thing. I feel like if we've seen Lamine play like Lamine, and we've come here, we've praised him, we've said so many things, but this is literally the 3rd game I've seen from Lamine when I feel like, yo, big man, what's going on?
But do you
right?
expect
So
him to play every
we should
game
not
like
say because
that?
he's 17. When he was doing what 30-year-olds could not do, we're saying it. So why would we now mention his age because he's not playing the way we've seen him play all this while?
He
Come on,
is playing
Sarah.
too much football, but he hasn't been
Are you
performing
done?
well.
Everyone is playing
Are
too
you
much.
done?
Come on,
I
man.
mean, no, not everyone is still in all the competitions. There's only 4 teams that are going for trouble right now. Then one of them is Barcelona.
Yeah, but
I think the thing is you can't expect. He was quiet today, but I also don't think you can expect them to be doing him to be doing that every game. And he's doing it for like 90% of the game.
No,
so I'm
no.
just thinking.
Listen, Sarah, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that you would, if
No,
Lamine,
but
if
what-
Lamine Yamal stabs anybody now, Sarah has an excuse.
Okay,
Right?
here we
He
go
deserves
with the
it.
delusion.
It's very understandable. But for me, I just feel like, yes, it doesn't stop him from being the class player that he is. But I'm just mentioning that, he's not had the best last 2-3 games I've watched him play, and it could, and which is normal. He's only human. But the reason should not be because he's 17, or the reason should
No,
not be
I said
because he's played a lot of games.
but I also said you can't expect someone to perform like every 3 days
No, but
like
he's
this.
class, man.
Of course
Like,
he
he's
is, but
class.
they're literally playing every 3 days right now. I don't expect any player to be like. Look at PSG. Oh my God, Ollie Watkins is coming in. Oh my goodness, this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, like, players to perform every 3 days at that level. I don't think it's possible right now with the amount of football happening. Okay, so Marcus Rashford is coming out for Ollie Watkins. And it's
Go
gonna be
give Marcus Rashford
Lucas
some credit,
Digne.
though.
He was
I feel like
criticised.
Marcus,
Out.
yeah.
In the second half, he was
For
fantastic.
Ian Maatsen, who had, oh my God, he had such a good weekend. Oh my God, I forgot Ian Maatsen was on the
Literally-
bench.
literally, I was gonna say-
Unai. Okay, wait a second. Oh, chance for Barcelona there,
I
Rafinha.
was gonna say sometimes we've got to give these coaches, cut them some slack because I was literally saying that to Emery, what are you thinking? A game that's meant to be a must-win. How come you have a Marcus Rashford starting it when he didn't have the best game in the last game? But
Pretty strong.
he pretty he
Well, I think we all said this. Him in Europe is different. He knows something that we don't know.
He's done it before.
Yep.
Oh my
Manchester
gosh.
United. What a save that was from Emi Martinez. What a save.
think-
Goal save.
I am so happy with Aston Villa today, man. Like, how? I would not expect them to pull off. Literally,
think
they
anyone
went,
did.
they went worse. They went
Yeah.
worse.
They
And
made
we're
it
like,
harder.
hold my dear, let's do a proper comeback here, man.
Wow. PSG
man.
still got 4 substitutes left. Is it time for them to bring on some fresh legs in that midfield?
PSG's, they're done.
They could be done.
Enrique is like, what's going on here, boys?
Oh my God.
Comment ça va? Ça va bien?
I have a question for you guys on PSG. If PSG somehow do get knocked out here to Villa, what does that mean for the legacy of PSG in that it seemed like this season they were finally getting acknowledged by the neutral fan, by everyone else. They were finally playing that convincing football, and we have to give them credit until, they have been. But there's such a label associated with PSG and the Champions League, and that they always bottle it. That this always they can't do it. They'll never get it done with Mbappe, without Mbappe, whoever it may be.
Yeah.
But
I still think they'll come back stronger next year because this is arguably a year earlier on in their development process of a team, and the way that they've been playing this season, I see no reason why they shouldn't play just as well, even better next season in the Champions League.
No, I don't think there's.
if everyone stays,
They're still in it. They're still ahead. No, they haven't.
no, they are, and there's a chance here.
Dembele, see, Dembele has not gone back to the Dembele we used to know before. Go and see that.
Times. I have seen that too.
No, I've seen that a billion times. Exactly this what he's just done here. See, you see this move?
That was
Cut it to the left and then shoot it to Morocco, where Hakimi's mom still lives. Oh man, these guys.
Goodness gracious.
Clinton.
Okay. I think it depends on what the situation is because they tend to be a little bit rash with their managers. And what does that? I mean, if you were to get
They
rid of
should.
Luis,
Like, if they sack Enrique, who's better that they can replace him with?
Dortmund scored.
Wow, 3-1. It's not over yet.
It's over, man.
It's over.
2 goals left, 15 minutes to go. I don't think they'll do it.
It's over.
I'm just a bit more annoyed with the way Barcelona.
Wait, but who scored though? Was this Garici's in?
I don't think it was. I'm trying to look and see. Oh, maybe
It was
it was.
Garici.
Maybe it was. Hold on. Well, I
That'd
wish I
be-
could see.
If it was, that would be the hat trick for.
Yep.
Yeah, true. True.
Is that? It is.
Yeah, it is.
Hat trick for Sehu
Guys,
Guirassy.
I'm telling you, he has something personal here. He's trying to make his name in this tournament, and he definitely has. So now he has, what, 13 goals in 13 matches?
Does that make him the top scorer?
Nope.
Who's the top scorer?
Who's
at
the
the
top
moment?
Fafinha has 13.
Joint top scorer then.
There you go. Player
I think
stats.
you have 13 though.
Guy can't be soft if he scores.
He's got 19 goals.
Goal check, heads up. Sorry, both of them. They both have 12.
Okay.
They both have 12.
Rafinha has 19 goal involvements, if I'm not mistaken. He's got 7 assists.
I can check in a moment, but Rafinha has 12 goals in 12 matches. Guirassy has 12 and 14, but there is a goal check here, and
I was about to ask
Can't
the silly
see.
question of why has Guirassy played 2 more games, but of course the playoffs. Still getting used to that.
Oh, we're getting. Is it going to stand? Why was it being looked at? Okay, what's happening here?
If he had gone out, if the ball had gone out.
Oh, they're saying that it's out here. Well, I can't see from that angle.
It's hard to tell from that angle as well. Why are they
Well, that wasn't. Yeah. Oh, what? None of this is helping me. Sorry. What? Hello. Okay. Well,
It's
it
a goal.
does stand. Sorry. Were they looking to see if it went out?
Yeah.
sure, to be honest.
No, to be honest, it pretty much looked like he went out and came back in. That's what I thought was making them take their time to check it. Nah, but if Aston Villa be better, just score one, man. They can't be doing this. They can't come this far and then just.
10 minutes to go. PSG on the attack here. It's going to be... Ooh, is that a foul? Yeah, the referee's given a foul here.
Ah! Can anybody rise it?
So Yuri Tielemans. Is he going to get a booking? I don't think so.
I'm so happy this guy left that. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, he was a big fish in a small pond at Leicester.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
yeah. To be honest, there were quite a few of them in Leicester, to be honest.
I mean, throughout the years, there have been some Riyad Mahrez, Dortmund.
Ooh, Dortmund, why? Do you know what I was going to say, though? I was going to say, if Dortmund are able to score one now, yeah,
Game on.
game on, for real.
19 goal involvements for Rafinha.
Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a long time to
Seven
get there.
assists, 12 goals.
Yeah.
Equaling Messi's single best in a
Yes,
campaign
we were
for
talking about
Barcelona.
that on the show earlier, which is just incredible.
Hakimi lining up over this free kick. Can he repeat the magic of Declan Rice from last week?
Nah, everybody.
What? Bet on it.
Are we?
I reckon he won't do it. If he does,
I mean, I think he's going to hit the woodwork.
He
I just knew it.
didn't even take it.
Didn't hit the woodwork.
No, I meant the wall. I mean, not the woodwork.
He didn't even take it.
Wait, he didn't take it?
Hakimi didn't, no.
Oh, okay.
Now, can Villa have got 10 minutes left, or just under 10 minutes?
Well,
Maybe with added time, 10, 15 minutes.
let's check in with
Villa,
Lucrezia
man.
for these last 10 minutes of these matches at Aston Villa with breakaway. Lucrezia, how's it going
Nice.
over there?
Yeah,
Oh
let me
my
read a couple
God.
of comments about our two underdogs here, about Aston Villa and Dortmund. So about Aston Villa, someone saying never underestimate any team from the Premier League. And they also add, imagine Aston Villa winning the Champions League this season. Then for Dortmund, they say, honestly,
is-
Dortmund is the worst team in Europe at the moment. How did they
Damn,
even
that's
get here,
so
guys?
savage.
That's
That's,
harsh.
that's
That's
tough
a bit.
to
It's
say.
a bit harsh. They put on a good performance today against Barcelona, and the game's not over.
Yeah,
like,
and
I mean,
I feel like
just
there's
the worst
team that have
team. They're in
done
the
worse.
quarterfinals of the Champions League.
There are worse teams.
Yeah,
that
there's
have been in the
teams that
Champions
have
League this
done
season.
worst.
They're
And
definitely have been
Marquinhos
worse
saying,
teams.
imagine Barca actually leaving the Champions League tonight. Well,
No, I don't want to.
I
Thank
don't know
you
if that's
very
happening because we only have
much.
10 minutes, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
If Borussia Dortmund beat Barcelona tonight, would that be
They're
the
beating
biggest?
Barcelona tonight.
Sorry, if they qualify for the semi-finals, will that be the biggest upset in the Champions League so far this season?
The biggest upsets, of course. Of course. I'd argue to say that Dortmund are probably the biggest. Who's a bigger underdog before going Dortmund or Villa? I'd say Dortmund.
Probably,
in terms
yeah.
of like the out of the top eight.
Underdog.
Out of, do you know what I mean? In the top eight,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like the Dortmund were the least.
Why would you say Dortmund? It was obviously
but-
Villa.
No, but given the
Wait, what?
the disparity in quality between Barcelona and Dortmund and
No,
Villa
no,
and
no, no,
PSG,
no, no. I don't. Sorry. No, I just mean in terms of the last eight, Dortmund are probably. I think they were the least favorite to win out of everyone, just in the sense of the quality of their team. I think Villa's
Or
a better
Bayern.
team
I
than.
doubt.
Villa's a better team, though, player for player than Dortmund.
No,
Yeah.
of course. But what I'm saying is, in terms of being an underdog in the Champions League, last eight, right? Nah, I would definitely. I think it's Villa. Definitely not Dortmund.
Really? I would have said Dortmund would have been probably the least favorite to win. Come on. I can't see anything. Almost a goal for Barcelona from what I see. I would have said Dortmund were probably the least favorite to win before the quarterfinals kicked off before Aston Villa.
I'd say I would even put Bayern as
No, I
more
think
underdogs than Aston Villa.
no. I don't think so. They're
Especially
at the top
against
of the.
that-
Yeah, but no, exactly. No, I was gonna say if
Against
we want to
Inter
go by
Milan.
their performance, then Bayern should be an underdog.
Yeah, against Inter Milan.
That's what I'm
as well.
saying. Even against a Celtic,
Hmm.
that got them into. Bro, we watched Bayern. They were so rubbish in this tournament. And if we want to go by the team's performance, then they should be part of the underdog. I would never imagine they would come this far.
I don't know.
I just want Aston Villa to score one more, man. That's it. Dortmund. Ah! Ooh. Is that not off? Again? Oh my God! Nah, Dortmund. They've given their all though. They should have given this performance last week. Barcelona will probably be just preparing for their La Liga and the other ones now.
I think that is the big thing. You look at if Dortmund hadn't have shipped 4 goals in Barcelona last week, this could have been a completely different story. But they didn't. And this is where we are now. But it will make them think that if we'd have just defended a little bit better in Barcelona last week, this thing could have gone completely differently.
Definitely.
Same with Villa. Is it Desiree Doué who scored that late
Nuno
goal
Mendes.
for PSG? Nuno Mendes. If he hadn't have scored that, this tie could have been completely different.
Yeah.
And the longer it goes on, it looks like PSG are holding on.
Yeah.
The longer it goes on. But never say never.
Why? Oh, that was just silly of you.
Dortmund need a goal in the next 5 minutes if they're going to have any chance of levelling this tie.
I'm loving the fact that these Villa defenders are not understanding the guys they are playing against, because that Kvaratskhelia has, I'm beginning to see he has just one particular move. That.
Nasty.
Oh my goodness gracious, that looks really painful. Oh.
I think he's... yeah.
Oh, bit of a knock to the head there. Shaken up.
So Ross Barkley coming on for...
Oh my God, no, I'm not even joking if Ross Barkley scores the equalizer.
Elements.
No, Ross Barkley to score the equalizer?
Wow.
A movie has been made, surely. That would be insane.
Your Nigerian brother.
Yeah, man. Can't believe that. For real, man.
That is, I can't wrap my head around the fact that Ross Barkley's now quarter Nigerian.
Nigeria, man.
It's amazing. He should have played for Nigeria. Can you imagine that?
I know.
Oh, I'm really having trouble seeing.
Dortmund pushing here. Was a chance here for PSG? PSG?
No.
Or throw on goal?
No, that was
Oh,
a good save.
that last touch.
Good save.
Silly Billy. Ah, there he is. Danny Olmo was calling for you about 30 minutes ago, but sure, that's all right. It's fine.
Coming off for. Okay, Robert Lewandowski.
Oh, I wonder what the reaction is at Signal Iduna for Robert. Surely it's a good reaction.
Hopefully.
But
It would be. It would be.
Yeah, in as much as Barcelona does qualify, but you know, this was a loss. They lost again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think when you look at how well they've been, but also I think in some ways it's not. I don't want to say it's been coming because Barcelona have been playing bad, but the amount of football they've been playing. This is what their 7th game in the last 20 days, I think. It's only natural that you lose one of them.
They've gone 24 games unbeaten.
Yeah.
They're the only team in the world in 2025 that haven't lost a game.
So
I think it's more the manner that they've done it, if I'm honest. But I think, like, I'm Lamine right now. That's me. I'm kind of, because I think the standard that we hold our team to when they've been playing at this level, that's what's disappointing. But then also what I'm trying to process is how tired these players are.
Yeah.
We saw it because the 3 of us were there in Butarque at Leganés match. And it seems like it's just, they are exhausted. I still think, though, they could have maybe done a little better. But I think we do hold them to really high standards.
We do. But credit to Dortmund, they played well.
No, you have to give credit to Dortmund for sure.
I think Dortmund just, if they had if they're a bit more efficient tonight in front of goal, they could have been ahead in this tie. I think part of that down to, you said it earlier, Karim Adeyemi, Clinton, was disappointing.
He's never. I don't. There's just something off with that player. For sure.
Oh my God.
When it all falls on one man as well, and Sekou Guirassy. 3 minutes of added time at Villa Park.
Oh boy.
Looks like time is running out for Aston Villa. Can they do it?
In all honesty, I think if Dortmund moving forward, they need at least 2 left and right good wingers. I'm talking about like Barcelona, Real Madrid level kind of wingers if they want to literally like compete on that high level football that we used to know them for. Right now, when I look at it, they only just have Guirassy as the guy doing everything for them up front.
That's who you've been saying.
No,
When you said the way
Guirassy?
I thought you were saying Guy Ritchie.
Last week I was trying to figure it out too.
I was like, why is Guy Ritchie playing for Borussia Dortmund? I think this will be, well, one of, if not the last chance for Villa to get the ball forward here. There's still 2 minutes left, but
I will feel bad for Villa though.
yeah, they've done well. They've given it their all. They can go out with their heads held high, but they'll be disappointed that they weren't able to do better, because had they not started in a manner that they started, which was poor, if we're being fair. They could have been a goal ahead in this tie.
Come on, Barcelona, score another goal.
Good defending there from Borussia Dortmund.
I don't know, Alex, because I know you have glasses on.
I mean, my eyes.
How are your eyes doing? Sorry for everyone that's watching, thinking I'm making a stinky face this whole time, because the Barcelona match happens to be on a much smaller screen than PSG and Aston Villa. And if I'm being honest with you, I will be paying more attention to that match, and I've been squinting this whole time. So, apologies, but you got to do what you got to do.
No, Clinton doesn't have any glasses either.
Yeah, Clinton, I think we all need glasses. I mean, I have contacts in, so that's what's worse about this. A minute left here at Villa Park. Unai Emery, Luis Enrique.
Can they do it?
Can they do it on a cold night in Birmingham? I don't know anymore. It's kind of funny, both these games kind of had that flair at the same time, and since...
And it sort of petered out a little bit in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Oh!
No way! Everything was perfect!
Oh.
No!
Pacho.
Who was that defender?
Pacho.
Was it Pacho? Well, to
Wow.
be fair, for scoring that own goal on accident, he'll be absolutely buzzing that he did that
What
work.
a block.
Dude, that was so perfect.
No, if you,
Oh!
the
don't
way
think
he
it was
got
going
Ian
in.
Maatsen,
Whoa.
the athleticism.
I don't think... Oh, maybe it wasn't going...
Alex, but I thought he was having a cough, though.
Wow. Unai
Oh my God,
Emery
Unai Emery on the
distraught.
floor. And do you know what, though? I'd be on the floor, too.
I think that might be it.
Aston Villa, they're pretty
That
much.
is it.
At least we don't get to go extra time, though. Thank God.
Full time.
That's
4 minutes for.
Wow, the PSG fans making noise here at Villa Park, and it will be Aston Villa that are going into the
That's
next
it?
round of the Champions League, the semi-finals, taking on either... Sorry, did I just say Aston Villa? I meant PSG. Excuse me. PSG going to the semi-finals, and they will await either Real Madrid or Arsenal.
Wow.
So, looking juicy. We'll break this game down once the Barcelona and Dortmund match finishes. But, guys, in the end, it was the team that at least Clinton and I thought. Alex, you had Villa going through. You were close, but I think the favorite did go through, and on a hair, maybe.
Yep.
By the skin of their teeth.
Skin of their, by the flogs.
To add another phrase in there. By the skin of their teeth.
By the flogs of their horse. I think I'm going to start saying that now. Oh, man. Oh, that last chance from Ian Maatsen is replaying in my head here. Don't send it. I would... Oh, jeez Louise. I would have held on to that. Wow. Clinton, how are you feeling about PSG in this moment? You really hopped on their bandwagon after Liverpool?
No, I think at this point, I'm not too sure if they look like the team that would... I don't know, unless they would have to change something, because I wasn't very impressed with their gameplay tonight. But also, we've got to give credit to Aston Villa as well. They knew that they had something to lose, they had something to fight for, and
Is Danny Olmo on the floor?
no, I mean, for me, I was hearing another watch along somewhere.
We always have another watch along over there.
Not good.
Sometimes during the show I hear it.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing serious, Danny Olmo there.
No. He's fine. He's running down the clock. He's taking a stretch, taking a lap here. God. You do get worried about all these players getting injured, like we were seeing Alejandro Balde picking up that injury with all this football happening in the last, squeeze of the season when you need these players more than anything.
In as much as I feel bad when they get injuries, each time I think about their paycheck, in my head I'm like, fam, listen to me, yeah? There are people who are getting way worse injuries from what they do as work, and they don't get
Like
even
you.
0.5% of what you get. So,
Yeah. Clinton, have you been injured in the workplace?
Of course, I have been, actually. And I tried climbing the stairs the other day, I nearly tripped. But they are getting a whole tons of money, man. But I would rather get injuries and get paid how much they get. Like,
What?
of course.
Wait, what? What did you say?
I said I would rather get their kind of injury, but still get paid as much as they do. I would be happy with that.
Oh, you'd rather pick up the injuries that they're picking up for the paycheck,
Of course.
that they're getting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fam, there are people who would get their arm cut cut out just to get just a week's salary of an average player.
Sure. But I also think, you know, sorry, anyone here? Okay,
No?
I think I'm losing my mind, guys. Sorry, I thought we heard something there. No, but I think the thing is when these players pick up injuries, it's so, like, it can be so detrimental for their career, and then it changes everything, right? So it's, I mean, either way, it's not good. Donnarumma getting a hug from maybe his dad or maybe a fan. What do you think? Oh, they're going to let that play. Bit of a scuffle here. 15 seconds left
Like,
at Signal Iduna Park.
what sort of pass was that, though?
We're winding down these minutes here. I think there will be the final whistle from this throw-in. And
Is that it?
to the semifinals. That's
Wow.
it. That's all. That's all. That's all. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bit intense watching your football team play. But Barcelona will be taking on the winners of Inter and Bayern Munich. All right, Lucrezia, the games are over. We need to hear it. What is everyone saying?
Yeah.
What are the
Olenke
concerns?
Is very impressed with Guirassi's performance, saying that Arsenal
For
should
sure.
actually sign this guy.
Wow.
What do you
Arsenal
feel
decides to
about
hit
him
Guirassy?
and Arsenal?
No, honestly, I think they would. That would be a very good addition. I mean, that's one of the things that they need. There are so many strikers out there that Arsenal could literally sign. Guirassy, if that's how you pronounce his name, I like calling him Guy Racy.
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie.
Is that his name?
No, his name's Guirassy. But
Oh.
this whole time, I thought you've been saying Guy Ritchie.
Oh no, I've been saying Guy Racy.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a guy when I was in my secondary school. It's called Racy. So when I see that, I always just think it's the same.
Does he
Whatever.
go to the same church where Sam Adeyemi was the pastor?
Actually, not really. Definitely not. But no, what I'm saying is right now, Arsenal probably needs a striker like himself, you know, and Isaac. Honestly, right now, I would even love to see Hendrick in Arsenal.
What?
Yeah, of course.
That's gracious.
You never know.
I mean, he's better
You
than-
never know. Transfer windows sometimes are crazy. So
Here we go.
then about PSG, Izibor is saying PSG should come to the English Premier League. They will be in 12th place.
Facts. I agree with
Linked
that.
to what you guys were, talking about.
No, I
the
totally
different
agree with that
leagues.
one. That one we can't even deny it.
What happened? Sorry?
No, they're saying if PSG
they're
plays in the
saying
Premier
that-
League, they will
yeah.
be on the 12th position.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I guess we'll never know.
We'll
Guys,
never know.
tomorrow, Arsenal, PSG. No. Wow.
Sarah,
wow.
you need to go to sleep.
Wow.
Sarah.
That's two for
Oh
me.
my God.
What was the first one? I did something. Oh, it's an Mbappe.
The Aston
Wow, there's
Villa.
two.
The Aston Villa. No, you also said
No, I
Aston
said
Villa
Mbappe when we
went
were
through.
talking about PSG, but to be fair, that's his old team, so it's fine. Pardon me. Tomorrow, Arsenal and Real Madrid. The big one here, right
Yes.
on Sporty TV and our watch along.
We have a few comments.
From desire. Innocence is purified, free from desire. Innocence is purified, free from desire.
All right, well, let's welcome back Shantelle to the show. Shantelle, in the end.
I'm heartbroken.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Football can be so heartbreaking sometimes.
Shantelle, when have you never been heartbroken?
Let's not stray.
Right, okay. All right. Because I
I'm
mean,
heartbroken because Aston Villa, I must give them their applause though, because they played a good game. It's just that it wasn't enough to knock PSG out, and that's what I
So much
wanted.
pain in his voice.
That's what I wanted. Even in the first half, they had more shots than PSG. They even had more shots on target than PSG. But there were too many mistakes, and there were chances that they should have taken, they didn't take. Oh my God, guys, I'm just so heartbroken.
I feel like you're more heartbroken than Alex, and I thought you were kind of going for Villa more than maybe Shantelle, but I think
don't
she's
think
more
so.
upset about
I feel like I was really invested because,
mean,
again, I love an
after
underdog win.
Liverpool being knocked out of the FA Cup by Plymouth, then being knocked out of the Champions League by PSG.
Wow, you really dug it up.
Yeah.
Damn.
And now
He's digging
PSG
deep.
going even further in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's been a rough one for me. But Aston Villa, you tried, and I'm thankful for that because you guys really gave it your all. But I guess PSG will move forward.
It's hard not to be delighted for Luis Enrique, though, after what he's
that
gone
side.
through as a man, and the I think the way he's changed this PSG team completely from it's done a 180-degree turn from a star-studded team full of players that arguably don't work together to a group of players that all play together in one cohesive unit, and they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They, I think, haven't been this far since they got to the final in 2020.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you are.
Three Musketeers.
They've been the most exciting team, bar Barcelona, to watch in the Champions League this season. I think that's fair to say. And I think the not just the way they've played, the players that they've got, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Desiree Doué, Bradley Barcola, Ousmane Dembele. This list goes on. Donnarumma in goal, yes, he has his moments, but he has some fantastic saves in there and made some brilliant saves today to keep them in that game. Pacho making that goal-saving block at the end there. It's been a joy to watch, and it's hard not to be pleased for a man like Luis Enrique.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what I was expecting from Aston Villa today, in as much as I wasn't expecting them to qualify. However, with the way they were doing the whole, the level they scored two against us, we were even down even more. The fact that they were even coming back, right?
Exactly.
I wanted some kind of, passionate story from what we had seen in them. Like, the whole beautiful story of, nobody believed in us. We went into the game and then we considered two from the start, and pretty much everybody would have written them off.
That would have been a beautiful comeback.
And then coming back from that, and then winning and qualifying, that was the story I wanted tonight. Right?
But you still have to give them credit for coming back.
But what I'm saying is, you don't take my feelings that high, and you still don't qualify. Do you see? Like, it's a bit like me.
Feelings.
No, it's a bit like me chatting to a lady all night. Like, we've spoken, you've told me you love me, you said everything, and then at the end of the night...
Yeah, so they built up the momentum.
Yeah, the momentum, and then, exactly, and then one of their friends called them on phone to say, where are you? We're waiting for you in the taxi.
You might
And
be the most heartbroken at this table, Mr. KlintonCod.
no, but in all sincerity, that was exactly what, I was expecting from... I don't know. But I mean,
But you still have to give them credit because they did come back, and I want to say that they didn't have a poor performance. It's just that it wasn't enough.
Bro, what's everybody
expecting
going to
that
remember
much.
tonight? They are going to remember the fact that Aston Villa did not qualify. That's it, right? Do you know in the next 4 or 5 days? In fact, the only people that will remember what happened today is people like Alex that love statistics. Apart from that, every other person, nobody remembers what happened. The fact is, you did not qualify. You did not qualify.
I don't think so because we know what PSG has been doing and the fact that they actually stood up against them in some sense and they gave them a run for their money at some point.
What do you mean? Which money? Fam, they didn't deal with any money here.
But they put up a good fight. That's the thing. It's not like PSG came and just ran over them.
No, of course.
They didn't run over them.
No, I
So
know.
I'm saying that I feel like you're belittling the performance.
No. I'm not belittling you though. I'm saying
because you're saying that by 3-4 days, everybody will be saying that they just lost.
Of course. Like, bro, what we on about?
Nah.
Listen, we're not gonna. All we know is they did not qualify.
They gave a good fight.
I don't think anybody goes into this competition without trying to give a good fight, though.
Wow.
I mean, we saw it with Liverpool. Are you telling me that Liverpool did not put up a good fight when they won 1-0 in PSG?
Liverpool went toe-to-toe.
Exactly. But what do we remember? We remember the fact that PSG are on in the Champions League. Who gives any hell about Liverpool at this point?
Darwin Núñez.
Come on.
And I can't remember. Curtis Jones missing the penalties.
Exactly, you remember details. You don't just remember,
But at the
they
end of the
didn't
day,
qualify. You remember details.
But at the end of the day, when you look back
they
at...
actually gave up.
I think what we'll remember from this for some of the fans who I think what Clinton is trying to say is they'll know that PSG went through, but they'll remember that this was a difficult game for PSG. And I think that could be I'll be honest with you, Villa gave way more of a fight than, sorry, Chantelle, but Liverpool in
You
that
know, I wanted
match.
to say, but
Because we, of course, we
Bring
have
yourself
the art
to say.
in the match that we saw Harvey. The match that Liverpool won. Liverpool had no business winning that match, and we were all sitting here
Yeah.
looking at all these PSG chances. But I really felt that in the second leg, Villa gave PSG, a really
no,
difficult
I
time.
do agree. I just couldn't bring myself to actually say
No,
it.
and that's fair.
But I want to say that Aston Villa put up even a bigger fight than Liverpool did. So I don't think I'd walk away from this and say, oh, well, they didn't qualify. Because
think
they did.
What we will
Try
remember is
something.
the fact that I don't think 95% of people gave Aston Villa a chance in this game.
I mean, I didn't.
And me and you both didn't.
There we
And
go.
then PSG went to Villa and went up 2-0. And then we said, turn the game off. I said that. Those were words that came out of my mouth while I was watching the Barcelona game.
I
Anyway.
mean, the one that came out with my mouth was, let's change the screen.
Yes,
No, give me
right.
some
And
better
then
game to
they
watch.
ended up scoring 3 in a row. I think the thing is I think everyone was really convinced with PSG, and Villa, got close there with making it, a 1-goal difference aggregate. It wasn't enough because of that first leg, but you have to give them credit. I still think PSG in the long run is the team that should have gone through of these two teams based on,
Yeah.
2 legs and
Yep.
what they've done. But, I mean, Unai Emery, you got to give him credit. He knew what he was doing. We're talking about Marcus Rashford, Ollie Watkins not starting this game.
Yeah, but Sarah, listen, this is the thing here. This is the reason why I'm saying that in maybe, okay, let me just say in a week or two, we'll forget about this stuff. Because, of course, whatever he did worked. But whatever he did he actually work for what we wanted it to work? Like, did he go forward? No. All this fighting, where did it take him to? It took him out of the Champions League. Do you understand? So, okay, we were saying if we want to give who the best manager is going to be, right? Let's imagine we're talking about the Champions League now. Yeah? Which manager between this Luis Enrique and what's it called? Unai Emery, who nearly pulled off a comeback. At this point, who's the greater between the both of them?
This season?
No, I'm saying let's look by what's happened now from this game. Yeah?
Just based on this game, who performed better as a manager tonight?
Which person went through?
Luis Enrique.
So now, in that scheme of things, who's the successful manager at this point?
Tonight?
Yes,
Luis Enrique.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain. For me, is who delivered the results that they wanted, who went up forward. Of course, you give credit to Luis. I would have been praising Luis Enrique to say, Unai Emery to say, hang on, this your lineup that you've set up, right? If it took you to the next phase of the competition, I would have said that you are a monster coach. Like, there's nobody I'm going to compare to you, because now it's not just you coming back from 2 goals down. They even scored you 2, and somehow you're able to pull it off and you're still qualified. You become one of the greatest to me. But yes, you tried, but nearly does not kill a bird.
No.
It takes you nowhere. So whatever is done, the simple answer, it did not work.
I think also you have to look at those first 2 goals for Aston Villa and think, had they not conceded those 2, they
Sorry?
would have been through in the semi-finals tonight. And
Of course,
they
absolutely,
started the game
absolutely. And maybe when you get to Lucrecia, I want her to read a comment that pretty much explains what I'm trying to say here. No, for real. Come on.
Okay, I didn't see the Lucrezia. We'll go to you.
It's as simple. The comment is from an Emmanuel Danielson.
Yeah, the last one is saying it's all about getting the job done. No one really cares about the fight you gave, but the progression to
That's
the
quite
next round.
It's literally all this English I've been speaking here. That's right. I've just read that. It's
It
as
has
simple
been
as
put
that.
into words from our guy Emmanuel.
But,
Yes.
well, Emmanuel Danielson, thank you very much for making my life easy. So move forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it is like that. They will remember the ones that they are going through at the end. But we
Yeah.
should give credit to Aston Villa for the fight. They
And I don't want to dwell on refereeing decisions,
Clinton, why are
because
you
at the end of the day, PSG were the better side on the night and they deserve to win it.
Yeah, Hakimi's living rent free in your head right now.
But
Yeah, there it
Hakimi
is.
should have been sent off. Aston Villa should have had a penalty, and that could have completely changed the tie.
I don't know if it was a red. When I looked
think
at
it
it
was.
again,
When you
I
lash
think
out
maybe
with
a
a foot like
yellow.
that.
In all
You have-
sincerity, though, I felt really upset with that one. If I was a ref, that's a red card for me. straight
If
up.
you lash out like yes,
Like
you
for
can
me,
connect.
that's the, like if you want some players that don't have that spirit of perseverance or that spirit, that patience, they would have punched Hakimi already. I see players who will do it. Like there are some hot-tempered players that you do that, it's instant reaction because that was not clearly an accident. He purposely, and I'm surprised that they didn't even make anything out of it.
No, I think he should have been sent off. Yes, he didn't connect with, I think it was John McGinn, but it's the intention. You're lashing out with your foot like that. You can't do that, and that's a red card, and it should have been a penalty.
Well, okay, let's get your guys' opinion on that. Let us know if you think Hakimi should have been sent off. Should he have picked up a yellow? Was it nothing? Let us know what you guys think, because Alex Ashmore definitely has something to say. Just a quick one, Alex. I am just kind of going through some socials here, and it's actually not being discussed very much on socials in general because he also scored, and that's what's overlooking.
But it's not the fact that he scored or didn't. I think it's more...
No, I'm just saying, like, people don't seem to have the same sentiment you do because no one's talking about. I'm not saying your sentiment is wrong or right. I'm just was curious. Maybe I can also try and see what people are saying about it while we wait for Lucrezia and maybe some opinions from you guys at home. But it doesn't seem like it was a standout moment as much as it was for you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I was very curious about it. But yeah, PSG going through. Like we said, they will be taking on the winners of Arsenal and Real Madrid. And I think we kind of thought that maybe today's games would be a little bit more standard. Standard's the wrong word. A little calmer, maybe, but they weren't because Borussia Dortmund beat Barcelona 3-1. So we had 3-1, and we'll get to that game in just a second, 3-2. So we had 6, 7, 9 goals across 2 games.
Not bad, eh?
Not,
Yeah,
and
to
I
be
know.
honest, I'm pretty much sure we're predicting. I don't know who said
Me
one
and
of them
you
was...
said Barca and PSG are going through.
Yeah.
So, Alex, unfortunately, you had Aston Villa.
I backed them to do well, and they did.
You backed them to go. You backed them to go through, and they didn't. Let's talk about Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund because Dortmund gave it their all. And I do have to say, though, regarding Dortmund, Clinton, where would Dortmund be without Serhei Guirassy?
I think they would be in Luton. Not be in Luton playing against the team I play back there. Honestly, you got to give that young man credit, man. Always being at the right place at the right time, taking, of course, like you can't. This is a typical example that sometimes one player does not do it for the rest of the team. And imagine if there were like 3 of them, like we're having Barcelona, we're having Real Madrid. I'm talking about top teams, maybe all this talk, all this, Dortmund trying to come back. We could have been talking about some kind of extra time game right now. But there's only one person, and all those energy that we were seeing from Dortmund, at that from that second half. Why did we not see it from the first half? That's the next question.
And the first leg.
Well, I think.
The first leg, exactly.
Well,
no, but even I would understand first leg if, say, for example, you've got into the game, you feel like, okay, this is too much for us, it's not working out for us. You come into the second game, yeah? From your first half, you are mounting that extreme pressure.
But they've been so defensively poor this season that I think no matter how well you play and how much effort you put in a game, if you concede 4, you have to expect that you're going to go out. You have to pull off a miracle. Only one team's ever done it. In 159 attempts. If you concede 4 in the first leg, you've only got yourselves to blame, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing for Barcelona because I think Barcelona's performance today was definitely one of the worst ones they've had. I mean, for sure, in 2025, they're no longer unbeaten. That unbeaten run is done, but because they did the work in the first half, in the first leg, rather. And this is the same thing with PSG. Yeah, it was a bit closer with Aston Villa, but they got the job done in the first leg, and this is what separates the great teams from the good teams. Because Barcelona also still somehow managed to score today, too. They were still ahead of Dortmund by 2 goals. But I think that's really where we can see the difference is they're taking care of it in one leg, and they're setting themselves up for success in such a way that even though they lost this match 3-1, they're still a team going through. And I think you have to give Hansi Flick credit. I will say Gerard Martin was shocking today, and you can see the miss of Alejandro Balde there. You saw the miss of Inigo Martinez as well. And I mean, Pedri changed the momentum of this game completely. So, I mean, looking forward, Barcelona have to play either Inter or Bayern Munich. In that match, I want to see those 3 players starting. And it's difficult right now, but I think Balde could be there for the second leg. I don't know if he's going to be fit enough for the first.
Does that mean they just have to, because what is it, 2 weeks till the next leg? Sorry, the semi-finals?
Yeah. It's in 2 weeks. There's no time in between. No rest for the wicked in the Champions League.
Given the semi-final, let's say it's against Inter Milan in 2 weeks, not next weekend, but the weekend after that, they've got, next weekend they've got the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid.
It's actually long.
They have to, and this is where it gets difficult, and it separates the good sides from the amazing sides, or the top sides, to stay competitive in the title race, because you would say that they would have to, or they should rest some players against Celta Vigo, but they can't afford to, because
no one's resting anywhere.
If they drop points against Celta Vigo and Real Madrid beat Athletic Club, that gap is 1 point.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
They can't afford to.
No one is being rested. That's the thing. There's absolutely no way. And I think the thing is, he tried resting Inigo and Pedri, but when you already have Balde out, that's 3 starters that are missing from your starting 11. And I think you could see players like Koundé was still great today, but you almost see in his face how tired he is. I think he's now on his 104th consecutive football game or something. So I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, and that's why winning the treble is a great thing for some of these teams, because you really have to push until the end. So it'll be difficult for Barcelona, but let's see if they can do it. They are through to the semifinals because they set themselves up for success in that first leg. And I mean, they have themselves to thank for that one. But I really have to give credit to Serhii Guirassy. He's now, guys, like we said, he's the leader now for the goals in the Champions League as it stands. Obviously, there are more games to be played for some of these other people, like Rafinha. But
was he 12 goals now?
Now he's 13. Rafinha has 12, yeah.
Right.
But I don't know with Dortmund. The thing is, I know Dortmund won this game, but I still am wondering, if it wasn't for him.
No, honestly, he knew that they were basically cooked. They were done. So he was just raking in all those goals.
Clinton. No,
other than you look at that Dortmund side this season.
Fire was invisible.
Focus on the Bundesliga as well. And yes, they got a good result against Bayern Munich in their Klassiker at the weekend. A 2-2 draw at the Allianz Arena, which is a tough place to go to, given how well Bayern have been performing in the league this season. But defensively, going forward, Dortmund have been all over the place this season. I think the start they had under Nuri Sahin was really disappointing, and rightfully he was sacked. I think he got sacked and they're in 9th place. They've even dropped as low as 11th, I believe. And Niko Kovac has had a job to do. It's whether he'll stay on towards the end of the season or they'll look to go in a different direction. I just think this Dortmund side, I think it's, and quite a lot of the Dortmund fans have seen criticism towards them on Twitter of this is what years and years of just worrying about qualifying for Champions League football gets you, where you build a squad that's good enough, but on their day can get beaten. You've seen the players that they've sold over the last couple of years. Jude Bellingham, of course, no club would have rejected an offer from Real Madrid for Jude Bellingham, but they haven't replaced these players. They haven't brought in players that can replace them. And you look at the difference between this Dortmund side last season and this season, it's night and day. They obviously, Edin Terzic left, and since then it's fallen apart. So Dortmund have a lot of work to do before they can, get themselves back onto the top tier of European football. German football.
Does Kovac stay at the club?
I have a question for Alex. Who would you bring in, transfer window, who would you bring in?
You're right, Clinton.
Who would you bring in onto the Dortmund team? Do you think could really make a change?
To answer Sara's question first about Kovac, it depends. I actually don't know how long his contract is, whether he's got it until the end of the season or whether they've signed a long-term deal. Regardless of that, I think I would go in a new direction. I think it's a fresh start. You have to wipe the slate completely clean. I think when you look at the players that they've got at the moment, I do think Karim Adeyemi is a good player. They've got to lock down Jamie Gittens, make sure he doesn't go off anywhere. I know Bayern have been interested in him. A lot of other teams have been interested in him. You look at that defence, I think that defence needs a lot of improvement. I think when you look at some of the players across Europe that you could sign, I look at potentially a Murillo at Nottingham Forest, but is he going to leave Nottingham Forest to go to the Bundesliga when he could be playing Champions League football for Forest?
Yeah, it's
No?
hard to see. Yeah.
You look at some of the players that they could sign. I look at maybe a Newcastle or a Chelsea or Aston Villa. Yes, they've signed Chukwuemeka on loan from Chelsea. I think if they can make that deal permanent, it depends on whether Chelsea want to keep him in the summer. But Newcastle could be in the Champions League. They're not going to get rid of any players, or no players are going to want to leave Newcastle to play for Dortmund, who have just got Bundesliga football to play for. They're going to really have to search hard, and whether that's looking in the Bundesliga at some of the teams that have fallen off this season and not qualified for the Champions League, and they see the prospect of playing for a side like Borussia Dortmund as a better hope of playing Champions League football sooner than other sides. But there are a lot of players that 12 months ago Borussia Dortmund could have brought in. I talk about Forest players, I talk about maybe Newcastle players, Aston Villa, maybe even Chelsea. You look at some of those players in the top sides in the Premier League, Brentford, Brighton. There are some really good players. Yes, they brought in Pascal Gross, but these players aren't going to want to come to Dortmund now that they're not playing in Champions League.
All right, well, it is PSG going through to the semifinals alongside Barcelona, but who will they be taking on? Because tomorrow, Inter Milan will welcome Bayern Munich to the San Siro, up 2-1 on aggregate. And, of course, Arsenal head to the Bernabeu, actually right here with KlintonCod for Real Madrid and Arsenal. Arsenal up 3-0. Clinton, let's quickly just talk about those two games. You're going to be at the Bernabeu tomorrow. Did you guys know that they're going to be closing the Bernabeu so that the sound radiates?
Did you hear the joke that came from there?
Rice cooks better with the lid on. You gotta love the
But
internet.
haven't
Sometimes
they been like that all season though?
It's
Or am I
been closed
losing it?
for-
No, but
It's been closed all season.
the middle is open.
Ah, okay.
I thought it was closed for the
No.
City game, wasn't it?
Or was it
I
not the
don't
City game?
think was it?
I don't know.
You sure
Huh.
it was? I think it's
Maybe
been
I'm
closed for
losing
most
it.
of the league games as well.
Yeah. No, it's
No,
yes.
no, it's not been.
No,
Not
no,
like it
most
is.
of them.
Not like it is when me and you were there. For
No,
sure.
most
That's
of
all
them
I
it
can
has
say.
been
No, but most of the games.
Valencia, it was closed?
It has been closed for most of them because like I've seen some things online that they're closing it to scare Arsenal and all of that, and it's just like it's been closed for most of them
No,
anyways.
I don't think it's been closed. Trust me.
For
I've-
most of them.
No.
Well, we'll come
Do you
back
wanna
with
bet
that
on it?
stat for you tomorrow,
Do you
just
wanna
on
bet
how
on it?
many games was the Bernabeu closed for. We'll find out. I'll look into that and get back to you guys tomorrow. But Clinton, you're going to be there, obviously. Big match, big Champions League evening, quarterfinals, Premier League team in town. Are you excited?
No, absolutely.
I don't know. After I saw his
That's
face
not very
last week.
convincing.
Yeah, true.
That's
Maybe
not
more
very
nervous
convincing.
than excited.
Listen, I think that game is more of just enjoy the game. Just the same way we just enjoyed Aston Villa
Enjoy
and
the
PSG,
experience.
right? Maybe Real Madrid might come back, maybe win 2-0, but they still wouldn't qualify. But the fans would just be happy to get a win from Arsenal. What does he do? It just means they are still not going forward. But for me, I think this kind of comeback against an Arsenal. I mean, when you look at the teams that have been trying to pull comebacks, what's it called? Dortmund tried to pull off a comeback against a very great Barcelona. Did it work?
Nope.
No. Aston Villa, as good as they were, tried to do a comeback on a poor PSG today. Did it work?
Nope.
No. Bruh, we are talking about the second best team in England as we speak.
But we're
Real
talking about-
Madrid?
But we're talking about Real Madrid.
That's what I'm saying. Real Madrid. What's special about Real Madrid this season, though?
No, but in the Champions League. You
No!
look at the comebacks that they've had over the
Bro,
years.
it was
against Man
Champions League
City.
that Arsenal battered us 3-0. What are you on about, bro?
But they've had losses like this against PSG, against Man City, against Bayern Munich.
Bro, you see, I'm speaking about these players we have for Real Madrid right now.
But it's not about the players.
What's it about?
Because, and you see it, there's a reason why everyone's talking about Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Bro, this is a new Real. This is not the Real Madrid you used to know, Alex.
I'm not saying it's a new. Forget about the players. Forget
Yeah.
about how they're playing.
Okay.
Forget about the form they're
Okay,
in.
you're talking about the juju that.
The Real Madrid.
Exactly.
Black
this
magic,
is
right.
this is Real Madrid in the Champions League.
That's the thing.
These things happen.
But no, but that's the thing. No, but that's the thing, right?
Have
This
faith.
this is the first time I've doubted Juju, right?
Really?
Like, no, because this is 3-0 to Arsenal. This is not 3-0 to Lille. This is not 3-0 to Lyon. This is not 3-0 to Marseille.
I'm
this
not
is
moved.
Arsenal.
I'm not moved.
Bro, this is. Bro, do you know what Arsenal did to City this season, though? Do you know what? Nah.
Let's just see if the juju will work.
Bruh, listen, tomorrow, if he actually works, okay, let me say this, right? Even me that's been talking about Juju on this show, right? somehow I'm not even convinced that juju actually does exist, especially from the part of Africa where I come from, right? Where juju is like enormously being spoken about and people act on it, right? But if Real Madrid does do a comeback and qualify over Arsenal, I will go to the Chief Magistrate Court of Madrid. They need to dig up that. You see,
Mbappe
on that,
hat-trick,
there are
Guinea
dead
brace.
bodies. There are dead bodies on like there are corpses on that they've done a ritual. Because if Real Madrid if they pull off a Retamonda,
Okay, try again. No, let him get to it by himself. Try again.
Whole new
What?
word.
No, try it. Don't say it. You can get it. You can get it.
Remontada.
Remontada. Remontada. I thought you were going to switch your words to some of the syllables back around.
Remontada. If they pull up a remontada, tomorrow. First of all, I'm not just going to be a normal Real Madrid fan. I'm going to be a donating.
An insufferable Real Madrid
no, I'll start donating. I will start giving the club money
Will you
to
give
say
me money?
we need to. Huh?
Will you give me money?
No, I'm going to take the one I give.
Do you want some stats that point in Arsenal's favour?
That they've never
Good.
lost to Real Madrid.
It's been so the last time that they lost by 3 goals was in December of 2023. There's not been a 3-goal deficit overcome in Europe since 1985-86. This was Real Madrid we're talking about. Arsenal haven't lost by more than 3 goals in over 100 games.
Wow. I mean, for me, I usually don't pay attention to these stats because, no, of course, because
This is
fact-
Real Madrid.
No, I know. No. Honestly, there are so many stats that people tend to be like, oh, the last time these two guys faced each other, it's always been more than 3-4 goals, and then that game they end up with only 1 goal, even a 0-0, right? What does that mean for you? It means a narrative has just been changed. Now, all those there are always so many goals coming out from these two people when they meet, it's now something else. Like, every day is different. This is how I see life. The mental state of everybody, the moment they wake up, is not the same like it was before they slept. Tomorrow, you never know. Maybe Real Madrid might go on to score 5 goals, and maybe Arsenal score 1. And who goes?
They will become the 5th team in 48 attempts.
But then again, Arsenal could also go in, score an additional 3-0, and leave.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
won't we, guys? Because that's the big one. We're all going to be back tomorrow. Lucrezia, let's check in with you one last time, and then we'll say our goodbyes.
Yeah, we have a few people saying that this has been the best UCL in the last 2 years in terms of the entire competition, I guess not just tonight. Which, we've seen amazing matches
Save
in
for tomorrow.
someone
Sorry,
else
hold
on
on,
the other
hold
side.
I don't agree with that.
I don't want to comment on that. That guy, I want to smoke what he
I
smokes.
don't know, you tell them. You go
but go
look
on.
for RJ and tell them. Not me. Okay?
You mean
Then-
Ray J in America? Oh, I want to see Ray J, man. He needs to tell me something
said
about Kim
RJ.
Kardashian.
Stop!
Right, okay.
RJ, yeah.
Oh,
And then Phil is saying worst UCL night in years. I don't know. We've seen a lot of
What?
goals, I guess, because they
Worst
both won.
UCL night in years?
Come on,
Yeah,
Phil.
I don't know.
We
You
saw
guys again tell
9
Phil.
goals, and we saw
I
2
know.
teams try and claw their way back and do
They-
a half-decent
Exactly.
job.
The day Bayern played
Maybe
Celtic,
what they
that was
meant-
the worst UCL
Oh
moment
my-
I've seen. So tell the person to go find that, whatever.
No, there were...
Go back
Maybe
to
what
that
they
night,
meant is
man.
that they wanted, the underdogs to succeed, but they didn't manage to.
Yeah, but that
I don't know if
doesn't-
that's what they meant. I know
Okay,
it
well,
doesn't
that's a
mean that
different- that's a
the
different story.
exactly. And then about tomorrow's games, Itegu is saying Inter 1, Bayern 3, and Real Arsenal 2-2. Don't say I didn't tell you.
If Bayern went 3-1, I
Tomorrow.
owe you everything. I owe you everything.
For tomorrow,
Lucrezia,
yeah.
I know you don't want to speak about your enemy in Inter Milan,
it's fine.
but
It's fine.
they're up 2-1. They're not hit with some of the injuries that Bayern are hit with. They're playing at the San Siro. They're in
Yeah,
great form.
yeah.
How do you see this one playing out? And be honest, if you do see Bayern.
No, I do see Inter going through, as you said, they've been performing amazingly. They're so consistent. Their midfield and defense are probably some of the strongest we've seen in Europe at the season at least. So I think they will go through and they really don't concede a lot of goals. you know.
Yeah.
And as you said, they're playing at home with all the fans supporting. That's also very important.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm happy for them in the sense that it's still an Italian team
no,
representing
you're not.
us in the Champions League. No, I promise.
I'm
We're
happy
out.
for
It's
them.
fine.
All right.
No,
well,
in the sense that still an Italian team, you know. I still I can still appreciate that.
This
Fair
sounds
enough.
like Shantelle talking about PSG beating Villa.
all right. Well,
Guys,
that-
it's true. It's true.
no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But we will find out tomorrow who will be
Tomorrow,
heading into the
yes.
semifinals
Sarah.
to take on Barcelona and PSG.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it all again tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be a big one. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Wow, I'm really losing
Not
my words.
PSG.
You saw it again. I don't know what's going on with me today. Arsenal versus Real Madrid and Inter versus Dortmund. No, Mike. All right, wrap me up. I gotta go. Inter
Real Madrid.
versus Bayern Munich. Gary will be joining us all the way from Accra. You guys remember him last week and how happy he was. Will he be just as happy? Let's find out. Clinton, you're at the game tomorrow. So
Yep.
we hope that we hope to see some very interesting.
We hope to see some remontada.
Well, we will see. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed the matches. We're going to do it all again tomorrow, so make sure you join us. Same time, same place. Until then, as always, Visca Barça, and we're going to the semifinals. Ebwe, I've done it for you. Gotta go. I gotta go. Guys, there's something wrong with me today. I gotta go. Did you just do Ebwe already? It was a quick one,
add
Ebwe.
the Tete, dude. Come on. Do Tete as well.
Visca Barça, Ebwe, Tete, going to the semifinals.
From desire. All them songs is purified, free from desire. All them songs is purified, free from desire.
Rodrigo again!